on the Reds tonight at American Family Field.
Swing and a miss. That's strike two, and that one was at 102.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts at 6:05. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 12 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Monday, June 29th. Your top story, the heat is on.
I'm Jessica Ty. Those late mail-in ballots will count.
Extreme heat warning in effect for all of southeastern Wisconsin until 7 o'clock Tuesday night. Mostly sunny, breezy, very humid today. High of 94. It's currently 87. Feels like temperature 96 in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom, WTMJ meteorologist Craig Copleen says warm overnight temperatures will offer little relief throughout the entire week.
Anytime there's a heat wave, when you don't get a lot of relief at night, folks who don't have access to air conditioning, really start to feel effects of the heat when it's prolonged over many days and nights. And that's what we're going to have. Lows tonight, tomorrow night, and Wednesday night in the mid-70s.
We'll have your complete WTMJ 5-day forecast coming up.
If you need a place to cool down, cooling sites in the Milwaukee area are now open.
While southeast Wisconsin experiences a major heat warning, air-conditioned spaces are open at every Milwaukee Public Library branch, along with county senior centers. Residents can also cool off at Milwaukee County pools, splash pads, water parks, and beaches, though some locations may charge admission or have limited hours. Health officials recommend staying indoors when possible, drinking plenty of water, and checking on older adults and neighbors during the dangerous heat. Nicer Spencer, WTMJ News.
Immigrant rights groups are reporting increased ICE activity in Milwaukee and in Waukesha counties.
De actividad de ICE que ha estado arrestando personas en la ciudad de Milwaukee en la área del norte.
Voces de la Frontera has verified multiple ICE operations reported to their 24-hour hotline. Executive Director Christine Newman-Ortiz says the ICE activity began on Friday at several locations across Milwaukee, confirming 4 people were detained. Then on Sunday, callers reported ICE activity near Jefferson Street and Moreland Road in Waukesha. A post on Facebook says 8 ICE agents surrounded a vehicle, broke the windows, and forced the driver out of the car. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
The Supreme Court rule states can accept mailed-in ballots after polls close in federal races that were postmarked by Election Day. This is a rejection of the Republican National Committee's push to defeat the practice. News Nation's Zach Schoenfeld.
This case was all about a federal law that says the Tuesday after the first Monday in November is the day of the election. So the question became, does that allow states to continue accepting those ballots after polls close? And at least Justice Barrett, Chief Justice Roberts, and then the court's 3 liberal justices today saying no, states can continue to accept those ballots. So it's going to mean that those 14 states that allow this practice across the country are going to be able to continue to do so.
Legal analysts do expect challenges to the ruling.
A new round of discussions between the United States and Iran may take place this week in Qatar. This comes after a tense weekend of back-and-forth strikes between the two countries.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Special Envoy Steve Witkoff will brief Congress on Iran this afternoon, according to multiple sources familiar. It will be an unclassified phone briefing for all members of the House and Senate, and will be the first one for lawmakers since President Trump signed the memo of understanding between the U.S. and Iran. Sources say a separate classified briefing is expected later this week for members on relevant committees. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything in the green this afternoon. The Dow up 240 points at 52,112. The Nasdaq up nearly 400 points at 25,690. And the S&P up about 65 at 7419. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
Christian Yelich on the 50 wins. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:04.
$998 buys you a magnificent diamond solitaire engagement ring at Kessler's.
A solid gold mounting shows off a big, beautiful diamond, 3/4 of a carat.
Glitter, twinkle, sparkle.
This is the definitive diamond solitaire engagement ring.
You can choose a round diamond, radiant, marquise, or oval.
3/4 of a carat. Any shape you want.
Any color of gold you want.
A 1-carat solitaire is just $1,498.
Ask to see the Evermore engagement rings at Kessler's.
You're going to be ecstatic about the color, clarity, and cut of your diamond.
Evermore.
Each of these diamonds was lovingly created in the heart of a miniature star.
Your diamond will remain.
Evermore.
Your diamond was born about the time you fell in love.
You will be in love.
Evermore.
Your diamond has been waiting patiently for you to see it, love it, and choose it.
Don't keep it waiting. Come to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hey, John Mercure here from my friends at Dave Dre Camp Heating and Cooling, where your family's comfort is their family's tradition. If you're one of the many Wisconsinites just now realizing that old air conditioning system is unable to handle the summer heat, please give Dave Dre Camp a call ASAP. The longer you wait, the longer it takes. Maybe your system just needs some maintenance. And if that's the case, you can count on the honest experts at Dave Dre Camp to simply recommend a tune-up. It's why we've welcomed them into our home for more than a decade. Visit DaveDrageCamp.com today. The teams I trust.
See Europe from a completely different perspective with Avalon Waterways. Fox World Travel is proud to offer Avalon's award-winning river cruises featuring their signature panorama suites with floor-to-ceiling windows. Wake up to a new postcard-perfect village every morning as you sail the Rhine, Danube, or Seine in total comfort. Whether you're a foodie or a history buff, Avalon has the perfect itinerary for you. Plus, ask about our special Fox exclusive offers. Start your journey at foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. Despite dropping 2 of 3 against the Cubs, the Brewers hit the mathematical halfway point of the season as one of only 2 teams in baseball to reach or exceed 50 wins. Christian Yelich puts it all into perspective.
Yeah, I think we've done all right. You know, obviously we haven't played bad, but I don't think we've played to the level we're capable of. You know, right now where we're at means nothing. There's so much season left. We just got to keep going and keep trying to get better every day.
Homestand continues tonight with the first of 4 against the Reds. Coverage gets underway at 6:05. The United States will play Bosnia and Herzegovina in the round of 32 of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. That match scheduled for July 1st at 7 p.m. And Bucks point guard Kevin Porter Jr. and center Jericho Sims have reportedly exercised their player options to remain in Milwaukee. Guard Gary Trent Jr. is declining his option to test the free agent market. The NBA league year-end free agent period begins July 1st. Trades and free agent signings can become official July 6th.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. Want to let you know about this situation in downtown Milwaukee right now. 794 East at Jackson Street, right there in downtown. Expect lane closures. There's some debris on the interstate right there. They need to get a crew out there to pick it up, get it off the interstate, because it is a dangerous situation when you have anything there on the road. 794 East at Jackson Street. Expect lane closures due to that debris. We also have a couple of disabled vehicles out in the system, including this one, 4394 North at the ramp from Lapham Street. Right shoulder is blocked due to a car that's broken down. We have another broken down vehicle on 4145 South at I-94 West. In that case, the right shoulder is blocked. And one more for you here in a busy spot, 4145 North at Good Hope Road. Right shoulder blocked in that case due to another broken down vehicle.
Sponsored by Accunet Mortgage.
Get your rock solid pre-approval or a no-pressure refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Mostly sunny, breezy, very humid today. Heat warning, an extreme heat warning in effect for all of southeastern Wisconsin till 7 o'clock Tuesday. That could be extended. Very muggy and warm overnight. The low is 76. Very similar conditions on Tuesday with that heat index exceeding 100 degrees. Very hot and humid. Air temperature high 95. It's currently 87 right now. The feels like temperature in Milwaukee 96 degrees at 12:09.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
Back again. It's a Monday edition of Wisconsin's Midday News. Greg and Jessica with you till 3 o'clock. I was off on Friday. My daughter had a softball tournament all weekend long, and we were saying as the games were completing on Sunday, at least we got this out of the way of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday when the weather was inching up to where we are today, but we were able to avoid the extreme heat, thankfully.
Too hot to be out there today playing, that's for sure.
No doubt.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
We start at noon with the dangerous heat. It is a story impacting everyone today. An extreme heat warning just went into effect at noon for all of southern Wisconsin. It goes until 7 p.m. tomorrow night. It is hot. It is sticky. Let's just say it's downright icky. Give it a bit. It's going to feel like it's 105 degrees outside later this afternoon. And here's the extra concerning part. This isn't just today. The extreme heat may continue through the week, tomorrow for sure. And there's not much relief overnight either. If you're thinking about hitting the beach to get some relief from the heat, heads up there. There is a moderate to high swim risk. Expect 3 to 5 feet waves in Milwaukee, 5 to 7 feet waves in Sheboygan. We will get through this together, though. TMJ4 meteorologist Lauren Larson will join us coming up at 1:37 today. She's tracking exactly how long this extreme heat is going to last.
Well, Brewers stars Jackson Churio and William Contreras teaming up with Forward Latino to host the United for Venezuela Emergency Supply Drive. They're just about to get underway with that event and a meet and greet with Contreras and Churio. Search and rescue and recovery efforts continue in Venezuela days after 2 massive earthquakes demolished portions of the country. More from ABC's Rena Roy.
Time is running out for any survivors buried underneath rubble in Venezuela. 140 search dogs from 21 countries working night and day to find those trapped. New video shows a mother and her 18-day-old newborn pulled from underneath what remained of their apartment building in La Guaira after being trapped for 32 hours.
So the death toll stands at 1,450, but tens of thousands of people are unaccounted for. The event taking place today in Milwaukee, there's a collection site set up at Blessed Sacrament Catholic Church. This is in Milwaukee. In fact, Churio and Contreras are going to be there on site for a meet and greet beginning at 12:30. And they've got donation windows open all week long from 9 to 3. Looking for bottled water, blankets, bedding, non-perishable food items. Just think about what those people in Venezuela are going through and what they could be missing out on beyond just creature comforts. But the amount of missing individuals is really startling here, right? 1,450 confirmed dead, but when you have that many missing, upwards of 10,000, you know that total's only going to go up, sadly.
And coming up at 2:15 today, Chef Gregory Leone will join us from Amalinda in downtown Milwaukee, excuse me. He grew up in Venezuela, and his father is still living there. We'll look forward to that. Number 3, the Wisconsin State Fair is already celebrating its 175th anniversary this year. Now it has another reason to celebrate. The fair in West Dallas is nominated as one of the best state fairs in the country. This is for USA Today's 10 Best Readers' Choice Awards. If you want to help Wisconsin bring home the bragging rights, you can vote once a day through July 27th. Winners will be announced on August 5th, and that is just, if you look at the calendar, one day before State Fair opens. This year's Wisconsin State Fair runs August 6th through the 16th.
Just over a month away. Coming up next, we're joined by MMAC Senior Advisor Tim Sheehy. What's to do with that train idea from Milwaukee to Madison? That and more. We'll explore it after this.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. Are you like me? Do you stress about your home, how it looks, or maybe you're worried about something leaking? Well, you can live with peace of mind and without stress by getting a new roof from Tri-County Contracting. Get yourself a free instant roof quote right now. Go to TriCountyContractingWI.com. It's that easy. It's roofing, siding, and windows that'll make you love your home again. TriCountyContractingWI.com.
Many people feeling close to retirement ask themselves, do I have enough?
Am I missing something?
At Diversified Wealth Strategies, we provide clarity during our complimentary, no-pressure consultation. We're independent advisors using big firm tools with a boutique-style approach.
And no crickets. We stay in touch so you're never left wondering.
At Diversified Wealth Strategies, let us show you how to capture the upside, limit the downside, and feel good inside.
Visit DWStrategies.com.
Securities and investment services offered through Mosaic Wealth Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. Mosaic Wealth is separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Mosaic Wealth.
Healthy joints, healthy lifestyle. Vince Vetrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Arthritis, injuries, wear and tear, common joint issues that keep you from doing what you love. At OAW, a visit to the doctor doesn't always mean surgery. Everyone is different. Surgeons, nurses, physical therapists work together to come up with a plan for you. Maybe it's PT, medication, injection, and if you do need surgery like I did, you know you're in the best of hands. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. Book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
I started our landscaping company, Brett Ochtenhagen's Seasonal Services, in 1994. We have other businesses, a trucking company, investment properties, and we board and raise quarter horses. I met Chris from Horicon Bank over 20 years ago, and we really hit it off. A few years back, we made our largest capital commitment ever. Chris understood our vision, supported it, and 5 years later, our annual equipment maintenance costs are down, and our fleet is amazing. Chris and Horicon Bank helped make that happen.
Horicon Bank, together doing good for 130 years. Member FDIC.
Well, the extreme heat warning is in effect until 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Very possible that could be extended. No word on that just yet, but something we'll check in with Lauren Larson about when she joins us coming up at about 1:35. So temperatures today topping out in the mid-90s. That heat index, it could exceed 100 degrees, and not much relief closer to the lake either, and not much relief overnight with temperatures down into the mid-70s. So very uncomfortable conditions throughout the early portion of this week, maybe through Wednesday. You start to introduce thunderstorms to the equation as you get closer to the 4th of July. That could impact some plans. So again, stay here with us. Lauren Larson joins us coming up at about 1:35. It's 87, feels like about 96 in Milwaukee at 12:15. And our economic spotlight is sponsored by Horicon Bank. Together doing good. It's horiconbank.com, truly the natural choice, and member FDIC. Staying cool today, hopefully. Senior advisor to the MMAC, it's Tim Sheehy. Hi, Tim.
Hey, how you doing? You know, if I had a pool, I wouldn't get out of it.
Yep. How do we know you're not in one right now?
I don't have one.
Okay. That's why my kids always ask me, can we get a pool? It's like, how about we move next to somebody who has a pool? I like that idea a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the store and get one of those little blow-up ones.
Nice. Please send pictures.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah.
Hey, Tim, wanted to dive into a couple of different things with you today. Number one, first and foremost, a new study that outlines the wealthiest counties here in the state of Wisconsin, and it finds that 3 of Wisconsin's 10 wealthiest counties are right in metro Milwaukee. So what does it say about the strength of the region as it pertains to the overall economy?
Yeah, you know, Wisconsin has 72 counties, so it's something of note. Waukesha was number 1, Ozaukee was number 2, and Washington was number 4. So that's a really solid statement. Now, Milwaukee was 52. But here is one of the most, or the least understood parts of economic development. It looks like Waukesha, Ozaukee, and Washington counties are, in a sense, holding up the wealth of Metro Milwaukee. But when you really dig into the numbers and you look at where people work and where they live, Milwaukee County is one of the only counties in Wisconsin that's a net exporter of income. And by that I mean more people drive into Milwaukee County to earn their living and then take that living home. And if you add that all up, Milwaukee County distributes $7.8 billion annually of net income to the surrounding counties. So it just shows you how interwoven the economy is in Metro Milwaukee.
So, Tim, is this simply about high-income households, or does it reflect a broader economic strength in southeastern Wisconsin?
No, it's investment income, it's property value, and it's median income. So it really goes to the strength of the economy, and as I noted, how interconnected they are. And, you know, we spend so much time arguing back and forth in the region about, you know, is there a sales tax in Milwaukee? Should we support the arts in Milwaukee? And what it really points out to me is that the economy and the people that live and work here are all connected to the success of the region's economy and all benefit from the jobs that are in the region's economy.
Tim Sheehy joining us here on Wisconsin's Midday News. I wanted to get your thoughts on this idea of Hiawatha train service from Milwaukee to Madison. Every time this story comes up, Tim, I'm somewhat surprised that we don't already have this in our state, just given how many people go back and forth. But nonetheless, here we are. The state of Wisconsin is applying for a federal grant to extend that Amtrak service. Good idea. What are its chances? Are the hurdles too significant to clear? How do you view it?
Yeah, I mean, it's complicated. This was famously called the half-fast train to nowhere. But if you start to unpack the numbers, you know, there are 681,000 people that use the train between Milwaukee and Chicago. So it's a well-traveled route. In looking at the numbers here, this would cost about $273 million to build, assuming you stay on budget. And then would cost about $2.5 million in the state to subsidize the route. And, looking at it, I was a bit skeptical, but then I looked at the schedule they're proposing, and you can get from downtown Madison to downtown Milwaukee on a train that leaves Madison at 6:15 in the morning and gets into Milwaukee at 8 a.m. So, that's pretty efficient. And then they're talking about another train that would, leave Madison at 5:30 at night and then kind of reverse trips in Milwaukee. So I think the potential is there. The question is, do we get the federal grant, and is $273 million the realistic sticker price for constructing the rail line? Having said all that, the estimate is about 260,000 riders a year. So it does hold potential.
So, Tim, I'm curious, how competitive is Wisconsin for this federal grant? Are there a lot of states that are chasing the same money?
Yeah, there are. There's a big federal grant pool. Now, the question is the viability that the feds see in the route. I think there's about $2.5 million that has to go into a study first. So there are some steps here, but I would say, most of the competitive train routes are obviously on the East Coast, and that's where a lot of that money goes. But having proven the viability of the Milwaukee-Chicago route, this may stand a good chance of getting some federal funding.
I think about long-term potential costs encumbered by this, Tim. How do you account for maintenance, making sure the tracks are operational, just sort of anything that makes that connection between Milwaukee and Madison up to date, current, and operating as it should? Who's on the hook for those costs if it's all up and running?
Yeah, the route between Milwaukee and Chicago, I think, has about $5.5 million of quote unquote subsidy in it to keep the line running and provide the maintenance. The one to Madison is estimated to have about a $2.5 million subsidy, which is not a big deal if you've got 260,000 people riding it. But that is part of it. But we also have to remember we drive on roads that aren't fully covered by the gas tax too. So there's a little bit of support everywhere. So the challenge is, will people use this to move between Milwaukee and Madison? And that's what the study will have to prove out.
We're talking with Tim Sheehy, Senior Advisor to the MMAC. Tim, with thousands of European soccer fans visiting American cities, there's been just a ton of great stories about the differences between life in Europe and here in the U.S. What's been the most interesting observation you've seen from all these European visitors?
Yeah, I think I could sum it up in one word from the European visitors, and that's big. They're shocked at the size of the superstores, which they don't have in Europe. The portions of food are, gastronomically large from their standpoint. And then, you think about homes. The average home here is 45% larger than a home in Europe. And then you've got the highways. So it's been very interesting for me to see the juxtaposition between how people live in Europe and what their experiences are coming here. I don't know what you all have seen.
Well, I've seen Scotland everywhere, and they seem to be having a very good time. They drank all of Boston out of Samuel Adams, and then they took their party down to Miami and South Beach. They're sometimes wearing clothes and sometimes not, even with a kilt on. They seem to really be enjoying themselves here in the States.
They do. I read somewhere that the beer sales in Boston were 3 times St. Patrick's Day, so that's saying something.
Well, and what was it? Was it 2 summers ago, Tim, we ran into each other at one of the beer gardens? I think it was for Oktoberfest. Yeah. It was in Cathedral Square Park, and they just had the most massive beers ever, heavy to hold. But the juxtaposition between being able to get something like that here, and then you go overseas sometimes, and they have like mini beers. They're so tiny. I laughed. I was like, it was kind of like a shot glass, almost like a chaser we would have here with a Bloody Mary. So different.
It is, and it's just a different lifestyle over there. I mean, smaller homes, they're making more frequent trips to smaller stores. Food proportions are smaller, which is not necessarily a bad thing. And then, they come here and they're just, I heard them just stunned at the number of pumps at Buc-ee's and all the things going on here that are just otherworldly to them.
Well, what I find interesting is how spread apart the World Cup is within North America, right? It's not just coastal. It's not just L.A. and New York, which are cities, but hey, look, those are outlier cities in terms of how America really is laid out. So the fact that you've got so many Europeans in Kansas City, which to me is more representative of what Milwaukee is or southeastern Wisconsin, that's a slice of America that I'm just not sure how many Europeans tend to see in a given year. So that's nice how spread out it is.
Yeah, and I think it's really great for Europe and the rest of the world to come here to America, and for those fans to mingle and see what America is really like, as you mentioned, right down to the heartland. And maybe it helps us come a little closer with all the divisive political issues and wars and things that are going on, and reminds us all that we have a lot more in common than what we have separated us.
Always great to chat with MMAC Senior Advisor Tim Sheehy on Wisconsin's Midday News.
And Tim, I just looked for you. You can get a mini tuft pool for adults, $29.99 at Target. Pick up today.
That looks nice.
Very nice. If I can float a six-pack in, I'm in.
It should fit. It should fit. We'll check it again next week, Tim. Thank you.
You bet.
You bet. 12:25 here. Is it deliver? Can they deliver? Did they drop it off?
They might be able to deliver. I don't know. They don't deliver as fast as Amazon, though. You want it today? I think you have to go pick it up.
Good call. Coming up on 12:26 News right around the corner.
Where you live matters. Searching for assisted living can bring a lot of questions and a lot of emotion. At the Wisconsin Assisted Living Association, we believe you need a clear, complete picture without pressure. That's why we partnered with the American Seniors Housing Association on whereyouLiveMatters.org, a one-stop destination with unbiased information to help you understand your options and connect directly with providers in your area. No confusion, just tools that help you take the next step with confidence. Start your research today at whereyouLiveMatters.org.
Well, the folks at Gruber Law Offices know if you've been hurt in an accident, your world can be really flipped upside down. And the folks at Gruber want to know that if you connect with Gruber after that accident, they will focus on the legal aspect while you focus on healing. Let them take care of it for you. As one of the largest personal injury firms in the Midwest, it's what they specialize in, fighting your legal battle while you focus on healing. And with Gruber, there's no fee, there's no cost to call, consult, or retain the firm. Never a fee with Gruber until they win your case, something they've been doing for 40 years. And giving back to the community. That is part of the foundation for Gruber Law Offices. Located right here in Milwaukee, fighting for you statewide, it's gruber-law.com. Learn more about the firm, learn about what they do in the community, all the wonderful events they support year in and year out. Connect with Gruber at 414-276-6666.
Picture this, a perfect summer evening, great friends, and dinner on the patio overlooking a beautiful course. That's Racine Country Club. More than golf, it's a place to relax, gather, and belong. A new energy is here, and you're invited to experience it. From great food to unforgettable events, it's a lifestyle built around community. Whether it's a quick 9 after work, dinner with friends, or a weekend with family, Racine Country Club offers something for everyone, year-round. Discover what's new at Racine Country Club. Visit RacineCountryClub.com.
And now, about your house. Eric Brown is the president of Siding Unlimited, your contractor for new windows, roofing, siding, decks, and a whole lot more. He knows about your house. So what do you know, Eric?
Recently, Siding Unlimited installed new windows in a home, and the homeowner loved the experience. Linda W. said, I was extremely satisfied with the service that was provided by Siding Unlimited. I had a new roof and new windows installed in my house. Linda loved that she chose the right company for peace of mind. She also loved the colors. Larry, another Siding Unlimited customer, was thrilled with the experience. Larry's home looks brand new. Go to our Siding Unlimited Instagram page and see our pinned message to listen to Larry's testimonial, but also see his house. Again, Siding Unlimited, knocking it out of the park. Looking for new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Visit the 5-time Pella Platinum Premier National Window Contractor of the Year winner at sidingunlimited.com. Definitely listen to Larry on Instagram at Siding Unlimited LLC.
Eric and his crews at Siding Unlimited are your go-to contractor here for roofing and also replacement windows, decks, and of course siding. They've done it all at the Matzik households over the years. It started with windows, transforming our 1953 Milwaukee home into something beautiful. And then, on our new house, brand new LP Smart Side siding. Built 8 years ago, our house still looks brand new. Make sure to connect with Eric about patio projects as well. They've expanded our outdoor living space to an area fit with a beautiful cedar pergola, paver patio, gas fire pit, and more. The best in lighting? I can control it from my phone. All there at Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more. Take the next step and check them out at sidingunlimited.com. Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more.
From large manufacturer to local pizza shop and every business in between, Summit Credit Union helps your vision take shape with loan programs, great rates, and strategic solutions. Whatever you're building, you've got this. And Summit Credit Union's got you.
The historic Fox and Hound Supper Club near Holy Hill is hiring experienced line cooks and dishwashers. You'll make real money. Night and weekend hours are required. Parents and grandparents, tell your kids. Inquire today, start next week. Google and call the Fox and Hounds today.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
It's 12:30. I'm Greg Mansick. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Monday, June 29th. Your top story, heat and humidity on the rise.
And Lake Michigan might not be the best place to beat the heat. I'm Jessica Ty.
Extreme heat warning in effect for all of southeastern Wisconsin until 7 o'clock Tuesday night. Mostly sunny, breezy, very humid today. Air temperature high 94, heat index exceeding 100. Not much relief tonight. Very muggy and warm, a low of 76.
ABC News, I'm Mike Dubusky. Rulings on presidential power and mail-in ballots from the Supreme Court today. Justices finding that the president does have the power to hire and fire the heads of independent government agencies like the FTC and the FAA. Meanwhile, in a case over mail-in voting,
Justice Amy Coney Barrett wrote that federal law does not block Mississippi from counting absentee ballots that arrive as late as 5 days after Election Day. The court's 3 liberal justices joined her opinion, along with Chief Justice John Roberts. Conservative Samuel Alito wrote a dissenting opinion, joined by 3 of his colleagues on the right, saying the majority, quote, creates a serious risk of further undermining public confidence in our elections and our system of self-government.
ABC's Stephen Portnoy, the court also rejecting the president's attempted appeal in the defamation case brought against him by E. Jean Carroll. A senior U.S. official now says 3 Americans are among the dead after last week's devastating earthquakes in Venezuela. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:31. Dangerous heat settling into southeastern Wisconsin. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Lindsay Slater says temps and humidity will continue climbing.
It's not just a one day that we have to deal with this. This is a 5-day stretch where we have temperatures that are going to be in those low and mid 90s. We have today, tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're all the way through the end of the work week, and we are still at 91 degrees.
Slater says overnight temps will offer little relief, with the heat index expected to remain above 75 degrees into Tuesday morning.
A cooling problem at UW-Madison comes at the worst possible time.
A broken chilled water line has reduced air conditioning across campus, forcing more than 20 buildings to temporarily close beginning Tuesday. The closures come as southeast Wisconsin heads into one of the hottest stretches of the year, with dangerous heat expected through at least Tuesday. University officials say repairs are expected to take at least a month. Classes will continue, though some may be relocated, while employees in affected buildings may work remotely or from other campus buildings. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
Well, if you're looking to escape the heat at the beach, Lake Michigan requires a little extra caution today.
The National Weather Service is warning about a high risk of rip currents in Sheboygan and Ozaukee counties until 10 p.m. Waves there could reach 4 to 6 feet, with currents that can be dangerous even for strong swimmers. Milwaukee and Racine counties are under a moderate risk. Swimmers are encouraged to stay near a lifeguard, and if you do get caught in a rip current, it's best to stay calm and float or swim parallel to the shoreline. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
The Wisconsin Center District has a new interim leader. The district's board has appointed James Kantner as interim chief of staff following the firing of former president and CEO Marty Brooks. Brooks was terminated after the board accused him of misusing more than $50,000 in public funding on restaurant meals, theater tickets, and other personal expenses. Cantor previously served as board chair. He'll now lead the district while officials search for a permanent replacement.
The 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence is just days away. America 250 chair Rosie Rios tells Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News the planning for the event started 4 administrations ago.
By law, we are working with all 3 branches of government. The executive branch, of course, Congress, we are a congressional commission, and even the Supreme Court. None of this is easy, but it is absolutely worthwhile. I mean, there's no playbook you could take off the shelf that says, here's how you throw the country's biggest celebration you've ever seen.
Rio says their goal is to engage all 350 million Americans in the celebrations. That includes here in Milwaukee at Summerfest, which is designated as an official America 250 block party.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:34.
100 years ago, Bayview Shade and Blind opened its doors with a commitment to craftsmanship and care. Today, that same family spirit lives on in every home we serve. I'm Daniel Pahalski, one of the third-generation owners of Bayview Shade and Blind. We want to say thank you to the families and businesses who've supported us for 100 years.
Sharing a little sunshine for 100 years. Bayview Shade and Blind.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. For pilots and aviation lovers, there's nothing like making a trip to EAA AirVenture Oshkosh. July 20th through the 26th, get up close to thousands of aircraft, learn about the newest innovation, get hands-on with experts, and witness breathtaking daily air shows, some even at night. There's no better way to immerse yourself into the world of aviation than by checking out the world's greatest aviation celebration. Fuel your passion for flight. EAA.org is the website. July 20th through the 26th, EAA.org.
For 176 years, St. Vincent de Paul Society of Milwaukee has been neighbors helping neighbors, working to eliminate poverty and hunger with compassion and dignity. When families face hard times, our volunteers step in. Over 600 trained volunteers ready to meet people where they're at, in their homes. And that's what our Neighbors Helping Neighbors home visit program is all about. Volunteers travel in pairs, listening first, then offering personalized support. They provide families and individuals with things like furniture, beds, food, clothing, and connect them to vital community resources, help that provides stability during challenging times. These home visits don't just address an immediate need, they help create a safer, more stable future for our families and individuals in our community. Last year alone, St. Vincent de Paul Society volunteers completed nearly 11,000 home visits across Milwaukee County, serving those who need us most. Together, we are neighbors helping neighbors. To learn more about our mission or get involved, visit svdpmilw.org.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. Brewers dropped 2 of 3 against the Cubs. The Reds are in town for a 4-game series beginning tonight. Still, Milwaukee at the mathematical midpoint of the season, one of only 2 teams in all of baseball to exceed or reach 50 wins. Christian Yelich puts it all into perspective.
Yeah, I think we've done all right. Obviously we haven't played bad, but I don't think we've played to the level we're capable of. Right now where we're at means nothing. There's so much season left. We just got to keep going and keep trying to get better every day.
Homestand continues tonight with a 1st of 4 against the Reds. As I mentioned, coverage gets underway at 6:05. United States will play Bosnia and Herzegovina in the round of 32, the knockout round of the World Cup. That match scheduled for Wednesday night at 7 p.m. And Bucks point guard Kevin Porter Jr. and center Jericho Sims reportedly exercising their player options to remain with the Bucks. Guard Gary Trent Jr. is declining his option to test the free agent market.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. Heads up here, we are still dealing with some debris on the interstate. 794 East at Jackson Street. Expect lane closures because of that debris. They've got to get a team out there to pick up whatever it is off the interstate. I did pull up the camera to see. Oftentimes I can actually see it. Unfortunately, from where the camera is right now, I don't see anything. But they are still reporting that needs to be done. Heads up there, 794 East at Jackson Street. Also, we do have 4394 North at the ramp from Lapham Street. There's still a right shoulder blocked because of a disabled vehicle. And when I looked just a moment ago, there was a truck carrying porta potties going by.
Oh, boy.
And I thought, get those there safely.
Be careful.
Those are necessary. A lot of our events, summer events, have them. In fact, I was just telling my husband, I said, I saw somebody going into the porta potty before going into Summerfest. And I really wanted to get in that person's mind. I was like, what makes you decide you want to use the porta potty instead of going into Summerfest to use the bathrooms there? Curious minds want to know.
It's a very good question. I have a rule with porta potties. If you're going to use one, you like it to be just moments after it's been delivered. Right? Game 7.
Timing that out?
Game 7 of an 8-game homestand. I don't know if I want to be using it then, but game 1 of the homestand, okay, if I need to do it, I'll do it.
I thought that was a risky move.
It's always a risky move.
I'd go into Summerfest instead.
From TMJ4, I'm meteorologist Lindsay Slater with your 5-day storm team forecast. Today, high temperatures getting to those low 90s, and we have high heat. In fact, an extreme heat warning is going to be in effect today all the way through to 7 p.m. on Tuesday. This means the heat index is going to be well over 100 degrees, so find a way to stay cool. Tonight, we're just down into the mid and upper 70s, really providing no relief. Tuesday features highs in the mid and upper 90s with a lot of that sunshine. We'll likely likely see an extension of some kind of heat advisory or extreme heat warning. On Wednesday, we'll see those highs again in the mid and upper 90s. Thursday, a little bit of a dip down to about 93 to 94 degrees with a slight chance of thunderstorms. And on Friday, high temperatures near 90 degrees again with a chance of storms in the afternoon. Your latest weather updates are always available at tmj4.com.
87 degrees feels like 96 in Milwaukee at 12:39. Well, follow-up to a story you may have heard about prior to the weekend. I did not hear about this. I was off on Friday, but boy, I'm glad I found out about it now. Gracie the giraffe has been found. 1,200-pound mammal walked up a stone slab and over an 8-foot fence to escape her enclosure at a Texas ranch more than 2 weeks ago, but finally spotted by a helicopter pilot on Friday and back home. Well, unsure if ABC's Jim Ryan was in that helicopter, but he is on the story. Jim, the whereabouts of Gracie, you can't just put this thing in the back of a truck and drive it home. Where is Gracie right now?
Yeah, well, headed home at least. Yeah, they're working out ways. They put together a whole team of specialists to do this. One major problem, of course, is the terrain out there, Greg. We're talking about something that looks kind of like the African savanna. Some trees, in our case here, it's mesquite trees and cedars and some oak trees out there. And apparently enough that she was able to live on it by eating the leaves from the tops of those trees. But getting a truck out there, a trailer, to bring her back home to the ranch from which she escaped, that's really a tricky task because although she was found 4 miles away from the ranch, to get there, they'll have to drive 50 miles through back roads, through country farm roads, through unpaved, just to try to get there to her. They'll tranquilize her, they'll load her onto the trailer, and then take her back home safely.
So, Jim, you mentioned that Gracie was able to eat from the tops of the trees. What do we know as far as her condition? I was telling you about the kangaroo that went missing here. That was just 3 days. Gracie was missing for 2 weeks.
Yeah, a couple of weeks. But the condition, well, the sheriff there in Real County, west of San Antonio, says that she was, quote, fat and happy, Jessica, that she did okay out there on her own, was able to eat well enough, apparently, plenty of water out there with the streams and creeks, apparently didn't run into any mountain lions, wasn't bitten by a snake, didn't trip on a cliff or fall and break her leg. She did okay for 2 weeks. So now she'll be back to the confines of her own home.
Jim, I think it's startling that it takes 2 weeks to find a giraffe, right? It just seems like you should be able to find that thing sooner. How
you
did
would think that?
Right? Why did it take so long to get a helicopter in the air to find her?
Well, private property is one part of it here. You can't fly over with drones, and they did have drones out looking for her, but once they had the permission of the landowners in that area, they were able to get up and take a closer look around with their helicopter. And if you get a chance, look at the video taken by the helicopter pilot of this area out there. I mean, it's vast. And yes, this is a 1,200-pound 11-foot animal, but yeah, if you can see her in the image there in the middle of the video, and she's just a little diagonal stripe there before they zoom in. So, and she was lost in this big, vast land.
So, Jim, what happens now? Is the ranch going to make any changes to make sure this doesn't happen again?
I bet they do. Yeah. It was in an area, the escape was made from an area that people don't normally go to, nor do the animals that live there. They have some exotic animals. Mainly it's a deer breeding ranch. They sell the deer to ranchers and landowners out there, and they're turned loose and then hunted. Not the giraffe, not the other exotic animals, but the deer. So, yeah, but this wasn't a part of the area that people weren't really familiar with. So they did have fencing there, but Gracie found a way around it.
Okay, so they're going to do a new fence line, something along that. Keep Gracie away from the limestone. Let's try and keep you enclosed here. You mentioned they're in the process of bringing her back. That would indicate, Jim, that they're trying to monitor her activity and trying to make sure that she doesn't wander too far away as they were to approach her. Is that your sense of it right now?
Sure. Right. The helicopter pilot was able to, drop a virtual pin in the area where she was found out there, the latitude and longitude of where she was, and was able then to give the searchers then an idea of where to go. So, yeah, they were able to maintain, if not visual contact of her, at least they knew where she was.
Jim, can you describe how wide this effort was from the vet team now to the sheriff's department?
Yeah, there was a $5,000 reward that was offered, and the sheriff's department was very interested. And you heard, the social media postings all over the world about this, the memes that came out of it, the kind of jokey little memes about where she might be, watching World Cup soccer, for example, visiting Six Flags over Texas, doing all sorts of crazy things in these memes. But yeah, in terms of the actual search, it was a fairly restricted kind of thing because of the private property out there. That once it was done and once they had a kind of an idea of where she might be, the helicopter's in the air, they had permission to go over there and checked it out, and there she was.
Maybe install some sort of tracking device that might be helpful for your giraffes or wildlife. I'm a little surprised they didn't have something like that, Jim, to make this process a little easier.
Yeah, you would think that. I mean, you can tag your dog and have a chip implanted in your cat. Why not your giraffe?
Very good question posed by ABC's Jim Ryan. Jim, we always appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, see you guys.
Coming up next, federal prosecutors unsealing an indictment involving a former member of the Milwaukee Bucks. We'll walk you through what we know after this.
Enjoy life at Capri Communities, where senior living's our expertise. Caring staff that help you when you need. Enjoy life at Capri, making friends and memories. Living life to the fullest, you will love your new home. Enjoy life at Capri Communities.
Well, I had some friends and families from my daughter's softball team over for the weekend. It was a nice night on Saturday night. Had some folks hanging out outside, playing around. Had some kids in the basement. Finished by Matrix Basement Finishing, and they were loving it down there. They had the soccer matches on, enjoying their own space, dedicated space. They were coming in and out of the house, but we knew they were in a fun space in our basement. Designed and built by Matrix Basement Finishing. It's kind of become the heart of our home for winding down after a long day or maybe a Saturday night after being out and about and connecting at home in the basement with our family, with friends, with people we have over for the holidays or birthday parties. Matrix Basement Finishing has made it come alive at our home. They come to you, Matrix Basements. That's all they do is basements. They are the experts in the business. Check out their 5-star reviews online and contact them for a free design consultation. They'll walk you through the paces. You'll make finished selections at your home. You'll have a very update and thorough schedule when that project begins. You know who's coming to your house. You know when. You've got a timeline that's all built out, laid out in front of you by an expert project manager. You'll have one point of contact when that project gets up and running. Amazing people and amazing work in our home. Why wait? Book now. No payments till 2028. Check out their before and after photos. Check out my social media pages. You'll see what I'm talking about here. Incredible craftsmanship and wonderful people at Matrix Basement Finishing.
Acumen Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org number 255368.
Don't settle for a flimsy bank pre-approval. Get the pre-approval listing agents and sellers recognized as better than the rest. The rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from Accunet. Get yours by clicking on the blue button at accunet.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-979-3535. That's 800-979-3535. 800-979-3535.
The family-owned Mine Shaft Restaurant in Hartford is hiring line cooks, dishwashers, and third-shift cleaners. You'll make real money in a fun, busy atmosphere. Parents and grandparents, tell your kids. Inquire today and start next week. Visit mineshaftrestaurant.com.
Well, no rain in the forecast today, tomorrow, or Wednesday. The trade-off, however, very hot, very humid temperatures with air temperatures approaching the mid-90s Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. That's in Milwaukee. Heat index could exceed 100 degrees on each of those days. Rain in the forecast on Thursday, still a high of 96. So you've got an excessive heat warning in effect until 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Very possible that could be extended. Lauren Larson joins us coming up at about 1:37. We'll go through the week of heat and when rain could not really cool us down, but start to impact our forecast, especially as part of a holiday week. It's 87, feels like 96 in Milwaukee at 12:49. So interesting story here involving a former member of the Milwaukee Bucks and a recent former member of the Milwaukee Bucks. His name is Malik Beasley. And federal prosecutors have unsealed an indictment charging Beasley in a sports bribery and illegal betting scheme. This has cropped up over the last year with a number of ex-players, former players in the league, current head coaches, gambling rings, illegal operations, and poker. This seemingly is separate, but it's also very much connected here. So prosecutors allege that Malik Beasley, former Buck, used insider information and deliberately underperformed or overperformed in specific categories across at least 4 Milwaukee Bucks games during the 2023-24 season. Those are not the only games in question. Here's a highlight from what could end up being Beasley's final game ever as a pro. Looks like he'll have a clear shot to maybe win the game against the Knicks, and then
Cunningham looking, finds Hardaway. Hardaway back to Cunningham, final seconds, over to Beasley. He lost it out of bounds with 0.4 of a second remaining. He was open. He was open.
Yeah, just mysteriously out of his hands.
What was going on there?
There was another highlight when he was playing with the Timberwolves in which the Timberwolves were getting beat by 10 points. But the spread in that game was like 7.5 or something like that. It was 8.5. So Beasley, with 5 seconds left, grabs a rebound, and the game is over. And he sprints down floor like his hair's on fire and goes and slams one home. And all of a sudden, the spread is covered. Very peculiar. Why did he do this, allegedly? Well, he was trying to cash in to clear his gambling debts. But the Department of Justice is onto it. And he had a network that he conspired with. And he placed fraudulent wagers worth hundreds of thousands of dollars tied to his own performance and his team's performances.
It sounds like if he is convicted and he did indeed do this, that he liked to gamble and he just got in way over his head. I mean, they're talking about Beasley having millions of dollars in gambling debt. So he was like, if this is true, okay, what do I do here? And he got caught, if that's indeed the case. And I was trying to remember, I mean, Beasley, I remember the name from the Bucks.
Yeah.
And I was kind of surprised because when I looked back, he was just there. It was like a one-year deal, the 2023 to 2024 season. So I was surprised that I knew him so well. I mean, I am a big Bucks fan, but I mean, how was he playing for us back then?
He was he did what a lot of good shooters did. They came to Milwaukee to play along Giannis, right? Because good shooters have great shooting years if Giannis is on the floor because he got just so much attention, right? So year after year, some of the best shooters in the league would end up on the Bucks roster, and then they'd have career numbers. And Beasley was one of those players. He was a three-point threat. That was his primary role, but a good role player, a guy that if you had Giannis, you wanted because he could knock down shots at over 40% from three.
I feel like it was about a year ago at this time that we started to realize what might have possibly happened when they started to say, hey, we think some of our pro athletes are involved in some of this stuff. And this is frustrating from a fan perspective as well because you erode the integrity of professional sports. And why are you going to watch the game if it's rigged?
Very much so. And there are text messages as part of this indictment that have been unveiled. One of these games, Beasley needed one rebound to hit his mark, whatever his mark was. He needed one rebound. And there was a text exchange that revealed a high level of excitement from the group he was working with saying, quote, OMG, he got the rebound with 1.1 seconds remaining. He pushed Connaughton out of the way. And the response was, we were 1.1 seconds away from being down thousands. That is not going to hold up very well, I think, in a court of law, or not for Beasley's case anyway. Now, it does appear as part of this investigation that there's going to be a voluntary surrender, according to Beasley's representation. He's not been charged with anything officially just yet, right? There's going to be a lot that becomes of this, but it does look like a voluntary surrender here in the next couple of days. But yeah, some of these games when he was wearing a Bucks uniform. Curiously, I looked up the days. The Bucks were 3-1 in those games. I think this was more tied to his personal performance beyond anything. So rebounds, points, something he could really clearly control to a degree. But yeah, very, very bad look for a player who got in over his skis in the world of gambling.
And so for our fans who are listening right now who aren't as into the X's and O's of basketball, how did Malik Beasley, who used to play for the Bucks, get to know and get close to Ed Davis?
Yeah, very good question, right? So another former pro here, and these guys have a history going back. You wonder when Beasley's issues really started, however, in gambling, and if they were doing things sort of, that they shouldn't have been doing before sports gambling became much more of a thing that the NBA and Major League Baseball and the NFL are behind. But yes, they do have a history together. They were working together as part of this conspired group of 5 total.
And used to be teammates on the Timberwolves?
Used to be teammates going back to the Timberwolves days. And yeah, who knows when Beasley's struggles really began. But yeah, I think he had a contract of $46 million at one point in the NBA. And if you're doing this kind of stuff because your gambling debts have mounted so severely and you've got that kind of a contract, that looked like something that was a little out of control.
Sad state of affairs.
No doubt about that. It's 12:54 here on WTMJ, Wisconsin's Midday News podcast built by Siding Unlimited. Our podcast available to you wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe and follow us along. You can also hop into our studio here on YouTube, wherever or whenever you're listening. Know that we are live on YouTube. Watch the show while you listen. See what's happening. Comment along with us. Just check out WTMJ on YouTube.
This summer, celebrate our nation's 250th birthday by giving a little time back to your community. Visit volunteerwisconsin.org to find volunteering opportunities with organizations that are making a difference near you. Visit volunteerwisconsin.org or get in touch with your local United Way or volunteer center to find your way to get involved. VolunteerWisconsin.org is hosted by United Way of Wisconsin and Serve Wisconsin. Paid for by United Way of Wisconsin.
Well, we have our WTMJ Golf Classic tomorrow. Looking forward to connecting with so many people, including my friends at Horicon Bank. They've been in business since 1896. What an amazing story here. Over 130 years now, doing banking differently and doing it the right way in Wisconsin. This is supporting local. You want to talk local? One single branch in Horicon in 1896. That's where it all started, helping those in the community who were going to work, maybe starting their own business or family or life in the state of Wisconsin. Wisconsin wasn't even 50 years old, but Horicon Bank was there for the people of its community. Still doing the same thing. Doors now opening to branches in New Berlin and Wauwatosa, Menominee Falls and Grafton, West Bend. Still the same great service, still helping you get that business off the ground and meeting its cash flow objectives. Horicon Bank, truly the natural choice. Member FDIC for 130 years.
See every smile, every milestone, every moment that matters most. From the moment you walk into Shopko Optical, you'll feel welcomed, valued, and genuinely cared for. The team at Shopko Optical takes time to understand your concerns, explain your options, and answer questions so you feel confident in your care. Whether you're due for a comprehensive eye exam or looking for the right eyewear, they're here to support your vision and eye health every step of the way. Create your personalized eye care plan. Visit shopko.com today.
The leader in the dugout, the skipper, the man who riles up the crew with his words of inspiration.
You mean my old ass? Is that what you're saying?
Yep, that's our guy. Brewers manager Pat Murphy joins Wisconsin's Morning News every Tuesday at 8:45 for Brewers 360.
Hey, Spro, you're on the team. Deal with it.
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited, Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Cannon and Dumphy, and Ridgetop Exteriors. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Summer is the time to enjoy the outside. Enjoy the deck, the patio, the fire pit, the shade, the screen room, the in-ground pool. Enjoy all of it in your own backyard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's top TimberTech decking installer and can deliver a design and build your next maintenance-free deck with a custom screen room and automated pergola. Stop by our Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom at 665 Larry Court in Waukesha or visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
It happens without warning. And when it's a truck crash, everything changes. Call Gruber Law Offices and let us protect your rights. We've got the knowledge, skills, and resources to win. One call, that's all.
MW Marine.
Celebrate summer with the 4th of July boat sale at MW Marine. Check out the new 2026 Lund, Ranger, and Vexus boats powered by Mercury Outboards. All priced to move during this special holiday event. Ask about remaining closeout models with deep discounted pricing at MW Marine. They'll help keep your boat ready for the water with expert service and convenient outdoor storage. Make this your best summer yet at MW Marine, where 4th of July savings are making waves.
Are you looking for a welcoming place to unwind? Vince Vitrano here. Our family found a home at Racine Country Club. Premier golf on the historic championship course. Rolling terrain, famously fast greens, tight fairways, and scenic Root River views. Work your game year-round with indoor simulators, hitting bays, top-notch practice facilities, and leagues for every level. Plus, at Racine Country Club, you enjoy elevated dining, swimming, and a full calendar of family-friendly events. Join me on the course at Racine Country Club, racinecountryclub.com. Vince Vitrano here with your HVAC guy, Urban Heating and Cooling. How much longer does that furnace have? Question to ask my man Ryan. His family-owned business with his wife Ellie, based in Franklin. They serve all of southeast Wisconsin. Now, what Ryan most wants to do is help you get as much life out of that furnace that you've already got. But when you have him in for a tune-up, now he can give you an honest assessment on how much longer that older unit will hold out. Free estimate is always part of the deal, so you know it will fit your budget. Tell him Vinny sent you when you call urbanheatingandcooling.com.
Transform your home today. Exterior Pros. Trust the pros.
When the dust settles, only one team will be seeing red.
0-2 pitch. Struck him out with a changeup. That was filthy.
The Brewers take on the Reds tonight at American Family Field.
Swing and a miss. That's strike two, and that one was at 102.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts at 6:05. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 1 o'clock. I'm Greg Mansick. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Monday, June 29th. Your top story, no relief from the heat, even when the sun goes down.
I'm Jessica Ty. The High Court rules who the president can and cannot fire.
Extreme heat warning in effect for all of southeastern Wisconsin till 7 o'clock Tuesday night. Sunny, breezy, humid today. High 94, heat index exceeding 100. Very muggy tonight and warm, a low of 76. 87 in Milwaukee at 101 from the WTMJ breaking newsroom. Not going to be cooler by the lake, at least not for the early portion of this week when the sun goes down. WTMJ meteorologist Craig Copleen.
Anytime there's a heat wave, when you don't get a lot of relief at night, folks who don't have access to air conditioning, really start to feel effects of the heat when it's prolonged over many days and nights. And that's what we're going to have. Lows tonight, tomorrow night, and Wednesday night in the mid-70s.
And potential for storms later in the week that could impact your plans on the 4th. More from Lauren Larson coming up at 1:37.
A teenager from Madison is dead after drowning in Lake Mills.
Caller advised that there's a person missing in the lake, was swimming and now gone. He was last seen swimming in the swim area, had a red shirt on. Caller advised that he's not a strong swimmer.
That's police scanner audio from Broadcastify. Emergency crews responded Sunday afternoon to Sandy Beach Park. The 14-year-old boy died there at the scene. Police say he was not wearing a personal flotation device.
Immigrants' rights groups are reporting increased ICE activity in Milwaukee and Waukesha counties.
De actividad de ICE que ha estado arrestando personas en la ciudad de Milwaukee en la área del norte.
Voces de la Frontera has verified multiple ICE operations reported to their 24-hour hotline. Executive Director Christine Newman-Ortiz says the ICE activity began on Friday at several locations across Milwaukee, confirming 4 people were detained. Then on Sunday, callers reported ICE activity near Jefferson Street and Moreland Road in Waukesha. A post on Facebook says 8 ICE agents surrounded a vehicle, broke the windows, and forced the driver out of the car. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
A mixed bag of rulings today from the Supreme Court when it comes to a president's power to fire certain agency heads. The court rejects President Trump's attempt to fire a Federal Reserve Board member who's been accused of mortgage fraud, which she denies. But the court upheld the president's power to fire a member of the Federal Trade Commission. ABC's Stephen Portnoy.
The court didn't say Fed Governor Lisa Cook can't ever be removed. Chief Justice John Roberts says at a minimum she should be afforded the chance to respond to the allegations against her before she's fired for cause. In a separate opinion, Roberts upheld the power of the president to displace a member of the Federal Trade Commission. This opinion overturns a 1935 ruling that protected FTC commissioners. Roberts writes that subordinates who exercise the president's powers are subject to removal by him.
The High Court's ruling also allows the president to remove the heads of the National Labor Relations Board, the Merit Systems Protection Board, and the Consumer Product Safety Commission.
Luigi Mangione, the man accused of gunning down a healthcare CEO on a New York City sidewalk, is back in court for a hearing. News Nation's Marcus Espinosa says we may learn a little more about the jury in the trial.
Perhaps some jury selection information there, and then also nailing down any sort of scheduling as well. So U.S. attorneys, in fact, they sent a letter to the judge saying they're ready to go to answer any questions that they might need or that the judge might have for them, including proposed juror questions, and they're ready to discuss scheduling as well.
Mangione's attorneys had previously said they were worried about potential bias in jury selection because of the intense media coverage. His state trial is scheduled to begin in September. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Some healthy gains here. The Dow up nearly 400 points at 52,260. NASDAQ up nearly 500 points at 25,763. And the S&P is up about 80 points this afternoon at 7435. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. It's financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
It's time to face the Reds. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:04.
Fireworks Nation Superstore Lomira has the biggest bang for your buck. Get 60% off specials, instant rewards, and our no-dud guarantee. Experience Fireworks Nation's huge showroom. Truly one of a kind in Wisconsin and worth your drive. Save big money on fireworks. Fireworks Nation Superstore. Highway 41 and 67 across from Piggly Wiggly, Lomira. Fireworks Nation Superstore. Save big money on fireworks. Fireworksnation.com. Fireworks Nation Superstore Lomira has the biggest bang for your buck. Get 60% off specials, instant rewards, and our no-dud guarantee. Experience Fireworks Nation's huge showroom. Truly one of a kind in Wisconsin and worth your drive. Save big money on fireworks. Fireworks Nation Superstore. Highway 41 and 67 across from Piggly Wiggly, Lomira. Fireworks Nation Superstore. Save big money on fireworks. Fireworksnation.com.
It's that time of year again. The Fox World Travel exclusive July sale with Apple Vacations, and brand new for this year, Royal Caribbean, is coming soon. July is the best time of the year for unbeatable deals you won't get anywhere else. Get the hottest cruise deals or plan ahead for 2027 and pair all-inclusive resorts with nonstop flights. Let Fox World Travel book your vacation and secure your reservation with just a deposit. Visit foxworldtravel.com/July and get on the exclusive waitlist today.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. The Brewers' inability to cash in with runners in scoring position, a primary storyline in dropping 2 of 3 against the Cubs.
You go through stretches like that during the season, right? Like, you're going to have times where things just aren't going well for you. You're not doing a good job with runners in scoring position. You're not doing a good job with guys on third less than 2 outs. Like, unfortunately, like, you're going to have some rough spots like that, and you just got to get through them as a team, and we'll be all right.
Brewers hit the halfway point of the regular season as one of just 2 teams in the league with 50 or more wins. Reds are in town tonight. Game 1 of a 4-game series. Coverage gets underway at 6:05. The United States will face Bosnia next Wednesday at 7 p.m. in the round of 32 in the World Cup. That's actually this Wednesday. And it's day 1 of Wimbledon at the All England Club. How about this? 44-year-old Serena Williams making a comeback, taking part in the singles and doubles competition.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. Just have a handful of disabled vehicles. Looks like we've got 7 broken down vehicles on the system. Everything from Kenosha to Milwaukee, Wauwatosa to Waukesha. But I just took a peek at all of them for you, and traffic is moving freely around them. So you're good to go. The only slowdowns we have so far are in our construction zones around American Family Field, both eastbound and westbound on 94, and in our construction zone in the Butler and Tosa areas on 4145, both directions.
Traffic is sponsored by Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Design Exchange is where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Kind of had a feeling they would do this, but that extreme heat warning now extended until 7 o'clock p.m. on July 1st. So they've added a day to it. It was set to expire at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. They've extended it now to Wednesday, and with good reason. The forecast looks pretty much identical today, tomorrow, and on Wednesday. Wednesday, we introduce a slight chance of storms, mainly to the north and central portion of the state, and a slight chance of those storms reaching southeastern Wisconsin later in the day. But really, we're looking at a pattern of sunny, warm, humid conditions through Wednesday. That continues on Thursday. There is a chance of storms once again. As we get to Friday, chance of storms in the forecast, a high again in the low to mid 90s. So a little bit of instability coming to the air, perhaps on Wednesday, as early as Wednesday, but perhaps more likely on Thursday and Friday. It's 87, muggy, feels like 97 in Milwaukee at 109.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Todd.
Yeah, reading through the forecast, it's kind of a reminder of how darn near perfect the weather has been for the first 2 weekends of Summerfest. It's been great,
really
right?
comfortable, yeah.
Some of those concerts can get pretty sticky, especially at the amphitheater, and we'll see what this week brings as Summerfest goes into its final week, but really nice conditions. Great time to walk around, really comfortable throughout the first 2 weeks.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, the Supreme Court allows states to count mail-in ballots that arrive late. The ballots have to be postmarked by the Election Day deadline, but they can be counted up to 5 business days later. The vote was 5-4. The decision is a loss for the Trump administration. ABC senior political correspondent Rachel Scott with the details.
This ruling is a loss not only for President Trump, but also his Republican allies who have long argued that these late mail-in ballots, even if they are postmarked on Election Day, but this essential grace period should not be allowed. And of course, this all comes as the president is pushing for even tighter restrictions when it comes to mail-in voting and mail-in ballots. He's currently pushing his Save America Act, using this voter ID bill even as leverage over House Republicans and Senate Republicans over other key legislation. We have not yet heard from the White House or the president directly on this ruling, but this is certainly marks a defeat for President Trump as he pushes for even broader restrictions on mail-in voting.
Remember, Wisconsin had a problem with ballots arriving late this spring. In fact, a letter from the Wisconsin Elections Commission to the United States Postal Service said many clerks had, quote, grave concerns about the performance of the mail. In a survey, 2/3 of clerks in Wisconsin reported problems with the mail. More than half reported receiving complaints and concerns from their voters. While most clerks reported mail arriving within 3 to 5 days, the commission says a concerning number reported election mail took 7 to 10 days.
Number 2, Milwaukee Brewers stars Jackson Chourio and William Contreras teaming up with Forward Latino to host the United for Venezuela Emergency Supply Drive. Primary collection site has been set up at Blessed Sacrament Catholic Church in Milwaukee. That's where we find WTMJ's Adam Roberts. And rare on a game day, Adam, for any players, aside of a starting pitcher maybe, to show up and be a part of an event. But Chourio and Contreras just wrapped up a meet and greet.
Yeah, you got that right, Greg. We're about 5.5 hours from first pitch, and both of those guys down in the basement of the church right now talking with some of the people who've come here. And it's been a steady line of vehicles, hundreds of people already at the church. We've got tons of water, tons of non-perishable food items that have already been donated. It's all part of the United for Venezuela emergency relief effort. It launches today, runs all week, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. All week you can come by and drop off non-perishable food items. They also are seeking things like that you may not necessarily think about, like tents, backpacks, work gloves, boots, and shovels, but there's a massive relief effort underway in Venezuela after those 2 earthquakes 5 days ago. So come on down, 9 a to 3 p, all week, Monday through Friday. Do pack your patience, because I'm looking at the line of cars right now. It's going all the way down Oklahoma Avenue towards Miller Park Way. So just take your time, come on through. There are plenty of people to help you out, get you where you need.
Sounds good. WTMJ's Adam Roberts. We appreciate that, Adam. Thank you. The death toll from the earthquake stands at about 1,450, but that number is only going to climb here. Tens of thousands of people remain unaccounted for in Venezuela.
Number 3.
The heat is on. The heat is on. The heat is on. Oh, it's on the street.
The Prolonged heat wave continues through Friday. All of southern Wisconsin is under an extreme heat warning right now. In fact, it was just extended until 7 p.m. Wednesday. Expect not only continued warmth, but high humidity, too. You can feel it already out there today. And it's not just us dealing with the dangerously hot weather.
Heat alerts have been issued for more than 100 million Americans from Kansas to Massachusetts. But as the U.S. heats up, Western Europe is cooling down after a week of record-breaking heat. Officials in France saying at least 1,000 deaths were reported during one of the worst heat waves on record. Lionel Moyes, ABC News, New York.
Even though hot and humid conditions may make the lake look appealing, a high swim risk is in effect for Lake Michigan beaches in Ozaukee and Sheboygan counties, and a moderate swim risk exists for Milwaukee and Racine counties. Avoid dangerous areas, especially piers and breakwalls.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Potawatomi Casino Hotel, it's time to play. Pick your game from hundreds of gaming options, slots, poker, and an incredible sports book. You can watch the game there. You can watch pretty much any game there. Multiple games at the sportsbook on that 2,000 square foot video wall. 12 incredible restaurants, bars, live entertainment. You can do the street food kind of taco truck thing, or you could do a fancy fine dining experience like the one at Dream Dance. And you could also stay at a luxurious hotel, and that is just steps away from all the action. Incredible place. You got to check out what's new. A lot is new at Potawatomi. Visit Potawatomi.com. Must be 21 years or older to enter the casino.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee and Waukesha. Griffin. The buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers. No matter what your summer sounds like, Summerfest is the place to be. Congratulations! And WTMJ is right in the middle of it. Come say hi as we broadcast live from the Summerfest grounds all festival long. From the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin Mobile Studio, we're bringing Milwaukee's biggest summer tradition straight to you. Your soundtrack to summer, heard here on WTMJ.
Well, that extreme heat warning has been extended till 7 o'clock Wednesday night. Hot, muggy conditions with heat indexes exceeding 100 degrees over the next few days, including today. Overnight low in the 70s, so not much relief at night. We introduced rain to the forecast potentially on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Again, temperatures in the low to mid 90s. It's 87, hot, muggy in Milwaukee at 116. So the World Cup continues for the United States Wednesday night against Bosnia-Herzegovina. It's a team featuring the only Wisconsinite in all of the World Cup. There's just one guy from Wisconsin playing in the World Cup among all the different countries that are playing, and he's not playing for the United States. He's playing for Bosnia-Herzegovina. He's a guy whose left foot delivered the winning penalty kick over Italy in the UEFA World Cup qualifying tournament.
And what a huge chance now for Bosnia-Herzegovina.
And it's Appleton, Wisconsin native Esmir Baraktarovic. The Milwaukee Messi turned 21 2.5 weeks ago, can send Bosnia and Herzegovina to the World Cup. And he does! It got underneath Donnarumma! The Italian curse continues! Bosnia and Herzegovina will play in the FIFA World Cup!
So Italy gets bounced by Bosnia, but before Esmir Baraktarovic joined the Bosnian national team, he starred for the SC Wave Youth Club here in southeastern Wisconsin and has coached for 5 years. He is current Milwaukee Wave president Sean Amini, who joins us on the line. Hi, Sean.
Hey, Greg, how's it going?
Hey, thank you so much for joining us. It was such an incredible highlight there, right? Goosebumps, I'm sure, for anybody with a tie to his past here in the state of Wisconsin. I'm curious from you, Sean, how old was Baraktarovich when you started coaching him, and how long did it take for you to realize that he was a little different than most?
He was 10 years old when I started coaching him, and he was actually playing for Appleton before that, and we played against him right before he joined our team, and we had to put 2 players on him, and he still scored 3 goals. Like, you knew instantly that this kid was special, and it's just, what was he going to do with his ability and the skills he had at such a young age?
I saw there's a article just posted, I believe, yesterday in the New York Times. In part of it, this is my favorite part, it says, the makings of Milwaukee Messi. Talent is one thing, of course, but what separated Esmer mentally?
Mentally, he wanted it. Like, he was one of those guys who, he'd come to practice, but he would there was never a moment he didn't have a ball at his feet. He wanted it, and it was almost one of those where you wanted to temper him, and say, hey, don't go put everything into being a pro. There's other pathways. You might want to be a college player. But he was so driven, there was no stopping him. He put everything into the game.
So it's really interesting from your standpoint, Sean, because your role in directing efforts at SC Wave is to help grow talent for the next level. But for most of those kids, the next level is not the Bosnian national team or MLS or anything along that line. So at what point do you have to shift your focus on getting him prepared to face, Elmbrook United and the Croatians versus preparing him for a professional path?
Yeah, so when he was about 16 is when we started to, we were playing at a pretty high level and we were getting a lot of exposure. So then a lot of the MLS academies were coming and, wanting to have conversations with them, the Chicago Fire, Minnesota United, Sporting Kansas. And then eventually, we sent him to the New England Revolution because Marcelo Santos at the time, he was an ex-SC Wave coach, and he was also a Marquette University assistant coach, so we had a good connection there, and we knew it would be a good landing space and he'd be taken care of, because when you make that jump, you're giving up your family. You're basically saying, hey, I'm going to move and I'm going to pursue this, and, 16, he was, I would say, mature enough and ready. He could have done it earlier, yeah, but that's a tough thing for a family to give up their kid at, 14 or 15. So he waited until after his U16 year, and then at U17, we sent him out to New England.
That's awesome. For young soccer players in Wisconsin, and it feels like we have more and more as the years go on, what does his journey prove? Do you think this is a blueprint that says you can really make it from Appleton in Milwaukee to the World Cup?
Yeah, you know what it does? It basically tells every kid, if you go all in and everything goes right for you, you can achieve what you want to achieve. But what I tell everyone that I've coached since I've had Esmer, it's not just the 2 hours of practice 3 days a week and the games on the weekend that you're going to. It's what you do on your own. Are you still putting more work in, or are you hopping on a screen and playing a video game or on social media? If you're only practicing 6 hours a week, you're not going to achieve greatness. So it's what you do on your own. And, you got to do something you love in order to put that much time in it. So I tell every one of the kids, whatever we do at practice is great, but what you do on your own is going to make you great.
What did that mean to you, Sean, to watch him deliver on that penalty kick to knock Italy out of the World Cup, a country that has won a World Cup in years past, and put Bosnia in it, right? There was no guarantee Bosnia was going to be in the World Cup, and here they are, thanks to his left foot.
No, I mean, it was just listening to the clip again when you guys played it. Every time I hear it, or watch it, it just gives me chills. It's one of those where watching him go up against one of the greatest goalkeepers in the world, knowing what that shot meant to his family and to the country, it was so much pressure. But he's one of those kids who always wanted to step up. Coaching him, he took every penalty kick we had. I mean, he just wanted them all the time. I felt like it was going to go in because I felt like he thought it was going to go in. So I was so excited by it, and it's really hard to describe how good it felt to see him make that shot.
Okay, Sean, if the U.S. doesn't find a way to slow him down, what is Esmer capable of doing in a match like this? What should American fans and all of us here in Wisconsin be watching for?
I think what you really got to watch for him is not just his ability with his left foot to shoot the ball and finish. It's his passing. He's so good at putting proper pace on the ball. So when people talk Milwaukee Messi, I look at more of like his ability to be a creator and see the field. I hope he scores 2 goals, but I hope we win 6-2. Like, I hope, he has a great game, but United States moves on.
Hey, when was the last time you spoke with him, Coach? Because I'm sure forever you will be known as Coach.
It's been like a year and a half since I've been able to talk to him because he's just been on a whirlwind. Like, they had the Nations Cup in Europe, and he's been playing for PSV and playing for Bosnia. It was easier, like, when he was playing for the Revolution to stay in touch, but now that he's in Europe, it's a little more difficult just because he's got such a demanding schedule.
So what about the U.S.? What do you think? Do we have a shot this year?
I honestly, I think the first two games we should be able to win, and then Spain is going to be a difficult game. The one game I attended this year, I went to Atlanta and watched Spain versus Saudi Arabia, and Spain just looked special. But you know what? With the home fans and the energy that the team's been generating, I'm not putting anything past us advancing.
This has been an unbelievable opportunity here for North America to host the World Cup. I enjoy watching games at like normal times. I think that's kind of cool instead of having to get up at 4 a.m. to watch something happen in Europe and overseas. It feels like it's becoming more so than just Olympics and just World Cup when it comes to interest here in the country. Have you seen it grow, Sean, just the general interest in the sport of soccer over the years?
So I've been coaching soccer for 30 years. I'm 58 years old. Just the knowledge of kids that I'm coaching now compared to the past, it used to be maybe you could watch some more morning highlights on Saturday morning, but now the kids come to practice and they have arguments about which one of their English Premier League teams is better or who's going to win the Champions League. I never heard that when I first started coaching. Now these kids are invested and they're really interested in the sport, so they're not just playing soccer. They're fans of the sport, which is huge.
And so many more people are getting into it, but sometimes it's challenging. I'm actually, as I'm listening to you, I'm looking up at our network television here, and there's a big story right now. Cost of youth sports skyrockets across the country. I mean, a lot of families are traveling to have their kids play as well, and it's a great opportunity, but for some, it's difficult.
Soccer's unique in that way where, especially coming from Wisconsin, right? So college soccer programs don't have these gigantic scouting budgets like basketball and football do. So they kind of turn on their scouting more in the wintertime because they're tied up during the fall and they don't have people to send all over the place. So then that's where travel really comes in. It's if you want to get seen, you got to go to the big showcases, which are all in warm climates. So it's not necessarily just a cost of registration, but it's a cost of travel. But it pays off for a lot because, if you enjoy the journey, I would say every year in our club, we probably have 40 kids that are going on to play some level of college soccer. So it's an investment in time, but it's also a great way for parents and families to spend extra time together. So if you look at it just, I'm spending this much on a sport and not looking at the whole experience of what's going on, it can seem like a lot. But if you take everything into account and the growth that kids get from playing at that level, it does pay off usually.
Well, one of the many quality programs here in southeastern Wisconsin is SC Wave. Sean Amini is the president. He's also the president of the Milwaukee Wave and a former coach for Esmir Baraktarovic, who plays for Bosnia. He'll be playing against Team USA on Wednesday. Great insight, Coach. Really good to connect. Such a cool story to follow here.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, guys.
You bet. 126 here on WTMJ. That game Wednesday night at 7 o'clock.
This message reaches 1 million people or more every week. Spreading the gospel is more than one voice speaking to 1 million. It is and must continue to be 1 million voices, each speaking to one, pointing them to our friend Jesus.
The Lutheran Hour with Dr. Michael Ziegler.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
Well, it used to be that we had trouble keeping our master closet clean. That is no longer the case because of the brilliant design from Inspired Closets Milwaukee. We can't really screw it up. Before, everything was kind of on display. Sweaters were falling off that builder-grade racking. Everything was exposed from a dresser to laundry to shoes. No longer the case. Inspired Closets Milwaukee took a view of our space, some measurements were made, and then they asked us what we wanted. Did we want open shelving? Did we want more cabinets? Did we want lighting? And we really designed a transformative design into our space, and it was installed by Inspired Closets Milwaukee after that design consultation. Put everything into 3D rendering where you're able to put on goggles and sort of walk the space before we actually had the installation done. That gave us a great sense for the spacing and the layout and how functional it would be for us. Functional, clutter-free, gorgeous. Inspired Closets Milwaukee will do the same for you. Think about any place in your house that could use a little organizational refresh or maybe overhaul, as in our case. Master closet, pantry, laundry room. See what they can do in your garage or that mudroom that's really getting a lot of activity now that the kids are home from school. Connect with Inspired Closets Milwaukee, a wife and husband team, Katie and Dan at Inspired Closets.
Who doesn't need a seasonal wardrobe update? But who has the cash to always keep their wardrobe updated? Ladies, that's why you shop St. Vincent de Paul. Our women's clothing is always a highlight of our stores, and thrift store prices keep the costs low. It allows you to experiment and also find a hidden gem. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
For those with a warm weather fashion passion, try St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, because that's where you'll find a vast array of men's, women's, girls, and boys' warm weather apparel at the friendliest prices. So many choices, and at such a value. You can fill the closet without draining your wallet. Shop warm weather fashions at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Hey, John Mercure here from my friends at Dave Dragamp Heating and Cooling, where your family's comfort is their family's tradition. If you're one of the many Wisconsinites just now realizing that old air conditioning system is unable to handle the summer heat, please give Dave Dragamp a call ASAP. The longer you wait, the longer it takes. Maybe your system just needs some maintenance. And if that's the case, you can count on the honest experts at Dave Dragamp to simply recommend a tune-up. It's why we've welcomed them into our home for more than a decade. Visit DaveDragamp.com today. The teams I trust.
A new deck from Outdoor Living Unlimited is built to last. We are Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech deck installation team. For amazing ideas, go to Outdoor Living Unlimited's Instagram page. For a free estimate, go to OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
It's 1:30. I'm Greg Mansick. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Monday, June 29th. Your top story, prison time for attacking his girlfriend with a hatchet.
I'm Jessica Ty. A new way to get into the Waukesha County Courthouse.
Extreme heat warning in effect for all of southeastern Wisconsin till 7 o'clock Wednesday night. Sunny, breezy, very humid over the next several days with heat indexes approaching or exceeding 100.
ABC News, I'm Mike Dubusky. The Supreme Court decided today that the president can fire officials at independent government agencies like the FCC and the FAA because they say they're engaging in executive functions. But as for the Federal Reserve...
What the Supreme Court said is the Fed is different. It rejected President Trump's attempt, at least for now, to remove a Democratic appointee, Lisa Cook, from the Fed. He's alleged that she committed mortgage fraud. He said that constitutes cause for her removal. The Supreme Court, in a decision by Justice John Roberts, said that isn't clear in this case, but for now she can stay on the job. The Fed is different. It's unique.
ABC's Devin Dwyer. The court also upholding a Mississippi law allowing the tabulation of late arriving mail-in ballots. January 5th, 2027. That's when jury selection is now scheduled to begin in the federal case against Luigi Mangione. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:31. A man accused of attacking his ex-girlfriend with a hatchet will spend 90 years in prison. 35-year-old Hayden Daffinson of Ripon pled guilty to attempted first-degree intentional homicide, first-degree sexual assault, and mayhem. Prosecutors say Daffinson's attack last year was premeditated after the relationship ended. Court documents show that Daffinson hit the woman 25 times while attempting a sexual assault. He then left her for dead. The woman survived, however.
Milwaukee Brewers players are leading a local relief effort to help victims of the deadly earthquakes in Venezuela.
Even amidst the sweltering heat, Milwaukeeans' giving nature shined through Monday afternoon on day one of 5 days of collections at Blessed Sacrament Catholic Church on the city's south side. While Venezuelan natives Jackson Churio and William Contreras are helping lead the effort, several of their teammates, including Abner Uribe, Sal Freelich, and more, were in attendance on day one of collections. In addition to non-perishable food items, the United for Venezuela effort is asking for new sleeping bags, tents, work gloves, and more, with all items sent as soon as possible to Venezuelans in their critical time of need. In Milwaukee, Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
The U.S. Supreme Court is keeping Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook on the job, rejecting President Trump's attempt to remove her over allegations of mortgage fraud. Annex Wealth Management Chief Economic Strategist Brian Jacobson.
As an institution should be insulated, right? Not independent in the sense that they can just do whatever they want whenever they want. No, it should be insulated though from whatever the political winds of the moment are so that they can make better long-term decisions as it relates to monetary policy.
In the ruling, the justices say Cook must first have an opportunity to respond to the allegations before she can be removed.
Starting today, visitors to the Waukesha County Courthouse have to use a new entrance.
Main entrance to the government complex at the courthouse will be closing for construction, and it'll be rerouted to the east side of the administration building, which will be the new temporary public entrance.
That's Waukesha County Facilities Manager Shane Wagee. This is all part of the county's ongoing courthouse renovation project, which started 3 years ago. Wagee says the temporary entrance will remain in place while construction continues through next year. The project is currently in its second phase, which is expected to cost around $114 million. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
And America 250 celebrations are approaching, and so is the start of a goal for the next 4th of July. Commission Chair Rosie Rios of Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News.
This is an opportunity to use this moment of time and create a movement that we hope will last long after 2026. What better way to think about this moment than Giving Forth? And Giving Forth aims to move the needle of giving from what usually happens at the end of the calendar year, and most people think about their taxes, and move that to the summer season when nonprofits need it the most.
Rios says they want to make 4th of July 2027 the largest day of the charitable giving year in the country's history.
A great way to give back and celebrate. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:34.
This report sponsored by the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network.
A cancer diagnosis shouldn't mean we can't make plans. It shouldn't mean living without joy or optimism. Cancer shouldn't be calling the shots. At the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Cancer Network, we're pushing to put cancer in its place by pulling together teams of leading specialists and researchers who work tirelessly for breakthroughs, who are developing innovative ways to treat every cancer, to treat your cancer, and by providing the largest cancer clinical trials treatment program in eastern Wisconsin. So there are more treatment options and more reasons to be hopeful. So let's keep innovating. Let's keep discovering. Let's push to make every cancer diagnosis a story of survivorship and bring back the lightness of life that cancer takes away. To learn more about breakthrough cancer care, visit freighter.com/cancer.
Are you hosting an event, launching something new, wanting to get the word out about your part of the state? Be a featured guest on the WTMJ Experience Wisconsin show. Share your story, promote your event or business, and connect with fans all across the state. I'm John Merkier. I'd love to interview you. We reach listeners from Milwaukee to Madison, Green Bay to La Crosse, everywhere in between. It's Experience Wisconsin. Ready to shine a spotlight on your business or company? Email me, john@WTMJ.com for more information. john@WTMJ.com.
There's not a bad time to better insulate your home, but there is a better time, and it's right now. Vince Vitrano here just talked with Jeff from USA Insulation. Jeff says they always get busy in the fall and early winter as everyone's concerned about keeping their houses warm. But doing a project with USA Insulation does just as well to keep your house cooler in the summer months and saving you money on your electric bills. Tell Jeff Vinny told you want the government rebates and discounts that can save you thousands on your project. Get started at usainsulation.net.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Protect your family, your phone, and your furry friends with life, electronic device, and pet health insurance.
100 years ago, Bayview Shade and Blind opened its doors with a commitment to craftsmanship and care. Today, that same family spirit lives on in every home we serve. I'm Daniel Pahalski, one of the third-generation owners of Bayview Shade and Blind. We want to say thank you to the families and businesses who've supported us for 100 years.
Sharing a little sunshine for 100 years. Bayview Shade and Blind.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call that's all sports desk. Brewers struggling with runners in scoring position. Couldn't find a way to score runs against the Cubs. They dropped 2 of 3. Christian Yelich tries to make sense of it all.
You go through stretches like that during the season, right? Like, you're going to have times where things just aren't going well for you. You're not doing a good job with runners in scoring position. You're not doing a good job with guys on third, less than 2 outs. Like, unfortunately, like, you're going to have some rough spots like that, and you just got to get through them as a team, and we'll be all right.
Coverage of tonight's game against the Reds begins at 6:05. Brewers with 50 wins at the mathematical halfway point of the season. The United States will face Bosnia on Wednesday at 7 o'clock in the round of 32 at the World Cup. And it's day 1 of Wimbledon at the All England Club. 44-year-old Serena Williams making a comeback, taking part in the singles and doubles competition.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. I do have an update for you. We have a new crash. It's on the ramp from Kilbourne Avenue to 43 North. And actually, the ramp is closed right now because of this. I'm pulling up the cameras for you here. I do see that emergency responders are now at the scene of this one. Hopefully the injuries aren't too bad. It's an interesting vantage point from this camera. I can just see in to the ramp. Looks like a couple people are outside of the vehicles as well. Hopefully the injuries are not too bad right there. But other than that, we're just dealing with disabled vehicles and our slowdowns in construction. But you will need to note this one if you are in downtown Milwaukee. The ramp from Kilbourne Avenue to I-43 North is closed right now because of that newer crash.
Well, let's get to it here. It's a holiday weekend, quite the week here in southeastern Wisconsin. We welcome in TMJ4 meteorologist Lauren Larson. Lauren, he speculated at the start of the show that they might extend that heat advisory or excessive heat warning, and they did. I was kind of surprised it wasn't just part of the mix to begin with. So what led to that change? It just came down about a half hour ago.
Exactly like you said, it's something that we kind of expected. I'm not exactly sure where the thought process went into having it end on Tuesday and not on Wednesday. I believe when they issued it yesterday, they must have just decided that it was too far out to really declare that those heat indices would be just that high throughout the day, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But like you said, they did decide to let that go through Wednesday. And really, as we look at the next 5 to 7 days, there isn't a ton of change in the forecast. There are no highs in the 70s, lows in the 50s. Will they continue to extend that a few days out? Possibly. It just depends if we can hold on to those dew points in the upper 70s for that long.
Okay, Lauren, so get real with us here. It's already this morning, it was sticky outside. You could just feel the air out there. How hot is it going to feel later on this afternoon?
Yeah, I think by about 4 and 5 o'clock tonight, it's going to feel like about 100 degrees downtown.
Ooh.
That's what I'm thinking right now. That means other spots, obviously, away from the lake hitting, 105, 107, maybe. Earlier today, during our noon show, I noticed in Beaver Dam, it had the feels like temperature at 111 degrees.
Ooh.
Now, could that be, you always have to ask yourself, could that be a problem with the sensor? Could the sensor be just in the direct sunlight? Maybe the location, maybe it's a little bit higher, a little bit lower. So we always have to ask those questions, but it's obviously not going to be off by 15 degrees. I'm sure it still felt like 105 versus 111. Does that really feel all that different?
No.
No, it's just bad all the way around. And not a lot of relief at night either. We're talking about, leaving the air conditioning on. You might have been able to get by over the last weekend without it on. Last night was a little sticky, but not much relief at night here either the first 2 days of this week.
Absolutely. And that is really, I think, what the National Weather Service puts into the thought process behind that excessive heat warning as well. When you have your overnight lows only in the mid 70s, you're sitting really in that hot, humid, sticky state for so long that our bodies aren't really able to recover and see that cooler air, the more comfortable air during the overnight hours. And again, like you're saying, like I mentioned, the heat sticks around for the whole week. We have forecasted lows in the 70s until Saturday night.
And Lauren, what's your message to people out there as we do deal with this dangerous heat, not only today, but tomorrow and to come yet this week?
Yeah, well, limit your time outside. We also are dealing with a decrease in air quality and an air quality alert for some of our counties. So keeping that in mind, spending not as much time outside if you do have to be outside for work. Obviously wearing light colored clothing, thinner fabrics, drinking plenty of water, more water than you think you need to drink. And really seeking time in the shade. If you can maybe spend some time in the shade here during these peak afternoon hours, and this would be the best time to take a break as we're kind of getting to that hottest point of the day.
Well, it's a kind of a week where people tend to take off at some point, right, built around the holiday. What are the chances of rain, storms, things of that like, Lauren, here? Obviously, with the temperatures, the humidity, we know what that can mean, and thunderstorms are certainly part of the equation at some point.
Well, unfortunately, we do have a chance for thunderstorms, really Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So all through that holiday weekend, there isn't a ton of certainty right now on timing or severity. It's too far out, and we're just saying, there's a chance. With that, it really is difficult to forecast as we go throughout the next couple of days because of the weather pattern. I don't know if you guys have heard or somebody has said the ring of fire, basically where our position is with
Johnny
the jet
Cash.
stream a little bit.
No.
Yes. No, but where the jet stream is across Wisconsin, if that does shift at all, it does kind of control where those thunderstorms are. So maybe we are the unlucky ones and we have those storms track through southern Wisconsin day in and day out. Maybe the jet stream pushes a little bit farther north and then we do have those storms across the northern part of the state. But it's hard to forecast even 24 hours out for those storms. So we'll do the best we can with the information we have.
And Lauren, are you guys also taking a peek at the elevated swim risk for today? Because when you have it so hot like this, some families just think, okay, let's go to the beach. We're just going to sit there and soak our butts in the water for the whole time, right? But today, there's some spots where even that is not the best idea.
Exactly. We have been talking about that because Lake Michigan is only 58 degrees at the last time I checked. So that sounds nice and refreshing when it's this hot outside. But with that high swim risk, it's moderate for Milwaukee right now and high for Ozaukee and Sheboygan counties. We could have waves up to 2 to 3 feet. So if you do want to just, like you said, go put your butt in the water and just, sit maybe 1 or 2 feet from the line there, that would be totally safe. It's when you're 10 feet, 15 feet away from the shore that you could see those stronger waves and those hidden currents.
All right, Lauren, we'll stay in touch throughout the week. We appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Stay cool. Thanks, Lauren.
Yeah, absolutely. You too. Bye.
1:45 here. I don't know the last time where you had a feels like of 100 downtown. Right? You've lived downtown for a number of years. I don't know if you ever remember that. We get that in the burbs every once in a while, but downtown to have that's ultra sticky.
I feel like we've had it, but the problem is we're going to have it for many days.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
Not going away. It is 1:45 on WTMJ.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Many of us struggle to lose weight. I use Milwaukee Weight Loss to lose the weight I've wanted to lose for a long time. And the great thing is I've kept it off now for over a year. Lost 45 pounds last year, another almost 10 pounds this year with a goal of losing maybe 10 more. For a limited time, get $200 off of their summer special. Book your free consultation at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. I can do it. You can do it. We can all do it. Let's lose weight together. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Save on the best quality furniture and mattresses during the July Independence Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture. With major discounts from our premier suppliers, you will save big on top brands like Bradington Young, made in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Bradington Young is known for its fine quality leather upholstery. Fjords brings you modern Scandinavian design recliners and sofas, ergonomically engineered for more hip and back support. Norwalk, with American roots that go back over 100 years, specializes in making furniture just for you. Choose the piece, style, fabric, or leather you want And in just 35 days, we'll deliver your new sofa, chair, or sectional. In-stock or special orders are all sale priced. Need a little help putting it all together? At Ken Michaels Furniture, our design staff is ready to help you with your purchases. And it's free. Stop in today and save now during the Independence Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture on Capitol Drive in Brookfield, Highway 100 in Greenfield, or our downtown Mattress Factory showroom.
Looking to see the world in style? Insight Vacation Journeys are now open for booking through Fox World Travel. Insight redefines travel with business class style motor coaches featuring extra legroom and smaller group sizes for ultimate comfort. From farm to table dining to expert-led tours, you'll truly connect with local cultures. Plus, ask about our upcoming Fox Group vacations for even more exclusive ways to travel. We handle every detail so you can simply relax. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO.
Recently, a seller that unfortunately ended up choosing another agent called me. She said she made a mistake, and what she was expressing to me sounded like she kind of was bullied into signing with him. Is it typical? Not always, but it will never happen when you hire a Century 21 Benefit Realty agent. I want our agents to be able to look in the mirror and say, I'd want to work with me. Not because they're good at saying what you want to hear or offer the lowest commission, but because of trust. Because if you're not feeling that from your agent, that's a problem. And I don't want that. At 1.9% on the listing side of your sale with our commission capped at $19,000, Century 21 Benefit Realty leads with a very fair and transparent commission structure with maximum marketing that can get your home sold fast and for the best price. And saving money matters, but working with someone who will tell you exactly what you need to know up front, that creates trust. And that matters too. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
See every smile, every milestone, every moment that matters most. From the moment you walk into Shopko Optical, you'll feel welcomed, valued, and genuinely cared for. The team at Shopko Optical takes time to understand your concerns, explain your options, and answer questions so you feel confident in your care. Whether you're due for a comprehensive eye exam or looking for the right eyewear, they're here to support your vision and eye health every step of the way. Create your personalized eye care plan. Visit shopko.com today.
The FAA's stack of reports on near misses involving drones and commercial aircraft got a little thicker this morning, but this time it wasn't a, quote, near miss. It was an actual hit.
JetBlue Flight 948 from Las Vegas was near the end of a 5-hour trip and about 12 miles away from landing at New York's Kennedy Airport when the crew radioed the tower.
We collided with a drone back there in the turn.
You said you collided?
Yep, it hit us right above the cockpit.
The audio from ATC.com. The Airbus A321 landed without incident. Flying a drone above 400 feet without a waiver can bring a heavy fine or jail time. Flight 948 was at 3,000 feet. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
You could hear them kind of question, like, you actually hit it?
Yeah.
The drone actually hit you? Because, yeah, a lot of times they will call in and say, okay, we see a drone because that is dangerous. And in this case, boom. There was a collision.
I was curious about the size of the drone, right? I mean, when drones were becoming a recreational thing, I don't know, they were maybe a foot and a half long, kind of rectangular shaped, and you get it stuck on the roof of your house, right? But it didn't really have transmittable power up beyond 80 to 100 feet, maybe at max. And even then, you had to adjust for wind. They were just not easy to fly. But they are so much more sophisticated. They are so much larger. They're so much more dense. Their range is so much better than it was years ago, and they're widely accessible. So, yes, I mean, a drone of what you might remember of growing up as a kid or something like that, that would be obliterated by an airplane. Well, this might actually cause some damage.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt, it's possible. And the thing is, I mean, there are a lot of rules when it comes to drones. I'm sure there's some people listening right now who operate drones. Usually you have to go through and get licensed, and there are classes you take. You have to register drones that are over a certain weight. Drones can't be flown above a certain level, so they have to be flown at or below 400 feet. You also have to, if you're going to be flying anywhere near the airport, that requires FAA authorization. And you can't fly. I remember even this, and this was probably 7 years ago, maybe even longer, when drones first became popular. Remember back in the day when we were growing up as kids and you were watching nightly news and you had at least from what I can remember, you had two stations in town. It was Channel 12 and I think Channel 4 that had, well, you were over in the Channel 4 building for a long time too, that had helicopters.
Yes.
The choppers.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden it was just Channel 12 that had a chopper. And for a little bit, you had some stations that kind of had an agreement to share choppers. But after a while, I mean, it just got so expensive. It didn't make sense anymore for stations to have these choppers, but they did get incredible footage. And oftentimes they could beat the other stations because when you're in the chopper, if you got a big fire and you could look down, I mean, you were winning if you had the chopper, right? Well, then all of a sudden, you didn't need a chopper anymore, right? You could have these drones that did take incredible pictures and give you incredible video, but there are rules. You can't just go flying over the interstate in case something were to happen and that drone comes down on a car. You can't fly it over people. There are a lot of rules are involved, but you also need people to follow those rules.
Yeah, it definitely a different game, and I'm sure pilots, and you would probably know this better than me, are trained on that kind of stuff maybe they didn't have to worry about when they were getting into flying. Another ancient radio or broadcast practice was, the traffic person. Now Debbie does her traffic sitting in the newsroom, right? She's got 10 monitors and everything's going, and she's got alerts and people to call if something goes down. When I started at WTMJ, Tom Carr was our traffic guy. And if it was a nice day and not too cloudy and the ceiling allowed for it, he would literally do his reports from the plane, and I would have to connect with him, and he'd be on headset talking to Jonathan Green and the crew. You're flying over the interstate system, reporting on the traffic that way. And if it was kind of a crummy day, he would be back at the airport, hoping he could get up. And that's just how you did it. And it became obviously very expensive to fly a plane every day to talk about the traffic on 94, 41, and 43. But yes, to your point, it's just different things now to worry about. And then there's also that little nugget of, let's be honest, we don't have a lot of traffic in Milwaukee. We are so lucky. I know it's tight in our construction zones and we have delays, and this summer it's a little rough with the construction, but at the end of the day, you go to Chicago, you go to Atlanta, you come back and you think, wow, we are lucky here in Milwaukee. Yes, and the former traffic person at WTMJ was indeed Tom Carr. That was his real name, or still is, I should say. 1:54 on WTMJ. Still an hour to go here in the program. Some great stuff coming on. We continue to localize some major stories here around the world, including the deadly and devastating earthquakes. Well, a local restaurateur has family in Venezuela. Sure, he was awfully concerned when those earthquakes broke out last week. We'll get a perspective here from a local restaurateur coming up in the 2 o'clock hour. Wisconsin's Midday News podcast is built by Siding Unlimited.
Keep the comfort in and the weather out with beautiful new windows and doors from Siding Unlimited. For ideas, go to our Siding Unlimited Instagram page. For a free estimate and honest price guarantee, go to sidingunlimited.com.
Well, it's great to know that during turbulent times in the economy and beyond, geopolitical events and so on, you've got a team of professionals at Annex Wealth Management who will do for you what they've done for our family over the last 7 years. And that's create a customized plan toward retirement or whatever that next phase of life is for you that you want to save for. You want to make sure you're putting money in the right spots, diversifying. The team at Annex Wealth Management handles it for you. There to support you with continuing dedication. They are designed to inform at Annex. They empower at Annex. They guide you through life's unexpected transitions, and they do it with grace, and they do it with expertise. Annex Wealth Management, the best in the business when it comes to managing your finances for whatever comes next. Your situation is personal. Your situation is custom. And the folks at Annex understand that completely. You can check out annexwealth.com. And while you're there on the website, seeing what they can do for you, click under the events section. They've got events coming up seemingly each and every week here at Annex. And the latest or next is an Instant Insight webinar, Jobs and the Economic Outlook. July 2nd, 9 a.m., in person at Berner Botanical Gardens. It's part of the Women in Wealth Full Bloom series, and it's a way to connect with the folks at Annex Wealth Management. Check out the events tab at annexwealth.com. Decisions you make today will affect your future. Annex understands this. With Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, and Annex Ignite, you've got financial planning covered at every level for your situation. Check out annexwealth.com.
No matter what your summer sounds like, Summerfest is the place to be. Congratulations! And WTMJ is right in the middle of it. Come say hi as we broadcast live from the Summerfest grounds all festival long from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin Mobile Studio. We're bringing Milwaukee's biggest summer tradition straight to you. Your soundtrack to summer, heard here on WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Struggling to provide for your family is a real thing, like having to choose between feeding them a warm meal or paying the utility bill. These are the choices many Milwaukee residents are faced with, which is why they turn to St. Vincent de Paul Society's meal program for help. Our meal program has been a consistent resource for those in need for over 42 years. Nutritious meals, warm showers, and clean clothes, all in a safe, family-friendly environment. Our mission is clear, and that's to help you break the cycle of poverty by connecting you with life-changing community and educational resources. Last year, we provided $2.2 million in goods and services, plus 57,000 warm meals. If you or anyone you know needs a warm evening meal, you can find us at Harambe Kitchen 5 nights a week on the northeast side of Milwaukee in the basement of All People's Church. And at Crossroads Kitchen on the south side of Milwaukee 6 nights a week on 9th and Madison. As always, we're grateful for community members and volunteers who help us help you. To learn more, visit svdpmilw.org.
When you've thrown over 4,000 innings like I have, you know joint pain isn't a maybe, it's a guarantee. For you, was it climbing ladders or too much heavy lifting? Hey, we're all in the same boat. But surgery, that was never my answer.
Baseball legend Roger Clemens knows there's a better way. That's QC Kinetics regenerative treatments that help your body heal itself. No scalpels, no fake fixes, just real relief.
What I love about QC Kinetics, these are the most respected medical pros in the country that specialize in non-surgical therapies to get you moving again.
Don't mask the pain, fix it. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation.
I trusted QC Kinetics. You should too.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559. 414-667-5559.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
When the dust settles, only one team will be seeing red.
0-2 pitch. Struck him out with a changeup. That was filthy.
The Brewers take on the Reds tonight at American Family Field.
Swing and a miss. That's strike two, and that one was at 102.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts at 6:05. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 2 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Monday, June 29th. To top story, everyone feeling the heat.
I'm Jessica Ty, making sure kids get a healthy lunch all summer long.
Extreme heat warning in effect for all of southeast Wisconsin until 7 o'clock Wednesday night. Very muggy, warm, and humid throughout the day today. Heat index exceeding 100 degrees. Air temperature high 94. Overnight low 76. Tomorrow's high 95. It's 87 and hot in Milwaukee at 2 o'clock from the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom. Hot, sticky weather will be in the forecast for the majority of the week, and no relief when the sun goes down. TMJ4 meteorologist Lauren Larson.
When you have your overnight lows only in the mid-70s, you're sitting really in that hot, humid, sticky state for so long that our bodies aren't really able to recover and see that cooler air, the more comfortable air during the overnight hours. And the heat sticks around for the whole week. We have forecasted lows in the 70s until Saturday night.
Your complete WTMJ 5-day forecast is coming up.
If you're looking to escape the heat at the beach, Lake Michigan requires some extra caution today.
The National Weather Service is warning about a high risk of rip currents in Sheboygan and Ozaukee counties until 10 p.m. Waves there could reach 4 to 6 feet, with currents that can be dangerous even for strong swimmers. Milwaukee and Racine counties are under a moderate risk. Swimmers are encouraged to stay near a lifeguard, and if you do get caught in a rip current, it's best to stay calm and float or swim parallel to the shoreline. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Hundreds of children in Milwaukee will have a healthy lunch this summer thanks to a long-time community partnership.
The Milwaukee Brewers and the Salvation Army packed 600 lunches Monday as part of the annual Feed the Kids program. The meals will be distributed weekdays at 6 locations across Milwaukee County while school is out. The Salvation Army of Milwaukee County Area Commander Major Beverly Gates tells WTMJ.
Many of our kids, when the school's out, don't have the meals, and this is an opportunity for us to really care for our children and to know that they are valued, that they are cared for, and that they're supported.
Since 1990, the Feed the Kids program has provided more than 2.8 million meals to children across Milwaukee County. At American Family Field, Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
The Supreme Court ruled today that states can accept mail ballots after polls close in federal races if those ballots are postmarked by Election Day. This has Republicans worried that now it will be harder to pass the Save America Act that would require proof of citizenship to vote, making voters show a photo ID at polling places. News Nation's Joe Khalil.
The SAVE Act that President Trump has been pushing has been a lightning rod here on Capitol Hill. It's the reason that the House floor has effectively been blocked by several Republicans who say they are not going to allow anything to come forward on the floor and get an actual vote until the SAVE Act is attached to some other bill or until they get a guarantee that the SAVE Act is going to pass.
Democrats oppose the bill. They say it would disenfranchise millions of Americans.
And Luigi Mangione, the accused killer of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, will stand in Manhattan federal court in January of 2027. ABC's Aaron Kutursky with the latest.
Luigi Mangione seemed pretty relaxed today, actually smiling a bit, seemed to be having a nice rapport with his attorneys. He got stuck in an elevator for a few minutes with the U.S. Marshals, so the hearing was delayed. But beyond that, he learned today that he will definitely stand trial in federal court in January 2027. As you say, the judge said she wanted to start earlier, but the state case made that impossible.
Mangione's state trial will begin in September. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Lots of green today. The Dow up 355 points at 52,231. NASDAQ up nearly 500 points at 25,780. And the S&P is up about 80 points today at 74.34. For sound financial advice from a fee-only fiduciary, it's Annex Wealth Management. Go to annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button today.
We have a new crash, and I have the details for you coming up. Not from the chopper, though, Greg. Not from the chopper. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 2:04.
Hey, check this out. How about a free dinner at a great place, the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club tonight? WTMJ's John Mercure here. I highly recommend this great place. When you buy one dinner, your second dinner's free, even on the weekends. Wow. You're going to love the twin lobster tails, pecan-crusted salmon, steak and lobster, pasta dishes, even prime rib on Saturdays, any entree, all buy one, get one free. Desserts, huge ice cream drinks, buy one, get one free. So de-stress with a cocktail. Choose from 20 bourbons, 120 wines in the timbered rustic bar, 8 gorgeous dining rooms. I recommend the magnificent all-you-care-to-eat Sunday brunch. Kids and grandkids under 3 eat for free. The Fox and Hounds, tucked into the Kettle Moraine Forest, right near Holy Hill. The summer drive is spectacular. I mean, it's poppin'. A Wisconsin must-see. Escape from your kitchen with a free dinner this weekend. Serving Saturday lunch from 11 till 2, dinner at 3 p.m. Tables are open tonight and tomorrow. Google Fox and Hounds. Call and reserve.
A riddle brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What do your home and auto have in common? Progressive protects them both. That was an easy riddle. Learn more at Progressive.com.
After a serious accident, you'll need a winning team to protect your rights. Trust Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes senior living at Three Pillars so special?
The welcomeness. People are so friendly. If you have a problem, you can go to anybody.
The community and the sense of safety provided for my mom and dad, and it's just like the most wonderful place to be.
They're just delightful, everyone. I don't see staff, I see friends. And I really do feel that.
And you couldn't live in more beautiful grounds.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all Sports Desk. The Brewers at the halfway point of the season with 50 wins. One of only 2 teams in all of baseball to reach or exceed the 50-win mark, despite dropping 2 of 3 against the Cubs.
Yeah, I think we've done all right. Obviously we haven't played bad, but I don't think we've played to the level we're capable of. Right now where we're at means nothing. There's so much season left. We just got to keep going and keep trying to get better every day.
That's Christian Yelich. He and the Brewers will take on the Reds tonight. Coverage gets underway at 6:05. Bucks point guard Kevin Porter Jr. and center Jericho Sims reportedly exercising their player options to remain with the Bucks. Guard Gary Trent Jr. declining his option to test the free agent market. The NBA league year and free agent period begins July 1st. Trades and free agent signings can become official July 6th.
Let's get you an update on the roads right now with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. I do have some good news for you. The ramp from Kilbourne Avenue to I-43 North was closed because of a crash, but I just watched as it opened up. So that's fantastic news. DOT is reporting a couple delays yet. If you are seeing delays, I think that should clear up momentarily because it's no longer closed. The ramp from Kilbourne Avenue to I-43 North now open. That was closed due to a crash. Other than that, we are dealing with some delays around the ballpark, specifically 94 westbound headed out of the city today. Eastbound is looking good right now. Also have a couple of disabled vehicles donning the system. One of them in a busy spot, 4145 south at I-94 west, right there in the Zoo Exchange. Right shoulder is blocked due to a car that's broken down.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Social Security benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Unable to work due to health problems? Let Tayback help you get approved for the Social Security benefits you're entitled to. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
From TMJ4, I'm meteorologist Lauren Larson with your 5-day Storm Team forecast. Today is hot and humid with highs reaching the mid-90s and an extreme heat warning in place for all of our counties. That goes until 7 p.m. on Tuesday, which means, again, mid-90s, but feeling like 100 degrees throughout the day on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we have a slight chance for some rain showers as the heat and humidity sticks around. Again, highs in the mid-90s, and then more likely to see some rain and maybe a rumble of thunder on Thursday. But the heat and humidity is here to stay throughout the rest of the week. Your latest weather updates are always available at TMJ4.com. I'm meteorologist Lauren Larson.
87, hot, muggy, and sunny in Milwaukee at 209.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
I did a pickleball thing at Summerfest on Thursday, I should say, of last week. Me playing pickleball is it's like a full body dry heave with a paddle attached to my hand. It's just not pretty when I play pickleball. But I did not know that over the weekend, our producer Gina actually made contact with Post Malone. Actually touched him. Was it Post Malone?
Yeah, my hand. I still haven't washed it, by the way.
You touched him.
She hasn't washed it.
What did you do? Where were you? How did you find it? Were you at the show, like in the pit? What did you do?
I was in the pit against the railing, and he hopped down in between songs and kind of ran along the crowd, and stuck my hand out, and I got lucky.
That is such a blast. Okay, real quick, Gina. I know we don't have a ton of time here, but Post Malone's concert was a little controversial at Summerfest. A lot of people said it was fantastic, but a lot of people were upset because it wasn't very long. So what's your review?
I can't believe you're dragging me into this, Jessica. I'm going to get in trouble saying this on air. No, it was really good. It was probably the coolest experience, but it was very short. Definitely the shortest concert I've been to in my life.
And some people would say, hey, that's okay because it was a great show for as long as it is. But other people are like, I paid a lot of money and I expected more.
Well, you don't have to worry about going to the bathroom during the new song, right? Those long shows, that's
so
the time
true.
to go to the bathroom.
I don't know this song. Let me run. I'm going to run to the bathroom.
Exactly what happens.
Here's your top 2 at 2 on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, the dangerous heat. It is a story impacting everyone today. An extreme heat warning is in effect for all of southern Wisconsin until 7 p.m. Wednesday. It is hot. It is sticky. TMJ4 meteorologist Lauren Larson.
Think by about 4 and 5 o'clock tonight, it's going to feel like about 100 degrees downtown.
Ooh.
That's what I'm thinking right now. That means other spots, obviously, away from the lake hitting, 105, 107, maybe.
Yeah, that is just too hot for a lot of people. And here's the extra concerning part. This isn't just today. The extreme heat may continue through the week, tomorrow for sure. And there's not much relief overnight either. If you're thinking about hitting the beach to get some relief from the heat, heads up there. There is a moderate to high swim risk Expect 3 to 5 feet waves in Milwaukee, 5 to 7 feet waves in Sheboygan. We will get through this together. Might be a little shinier than normal, though.
Yeah. Well, number 2, very sad story here. He was once considered the fastest man in the NFL, and now he's battling a disease with no cure. 2-time NFL All-Pro running back Chris Johnson reveals to Good Morning America an ALS diagnosis at the age of 39.
If sharing my story helps even one person get diagnosed sooner, inspires more research, or gives another family hope, then it's worth it.
Johnson's condition is being described as aggressive, and he says to the point where he can't hold a cup or speak. So I know what you're thinking. Well, what is this?
If sharing my story helps even one person get diagnosed sooner, inspires more research, or gives another family hope, then it's worth it.
If you watch the interview on Good Morning America, Johnson was sitting next to his wife, and you could hear what I just played, but he was basically expressionless, and he was not speaking. To communicate, he's using an eye-controlled speech-generating device that uses a digital replica of his own voice. He recorded shortly after his ALS diagnosis. He started recording words and phrases, and it's unbelievable because of his eye control, his expressions. He can type things out, but it replicates his voice and spits it back. So it sounds like he's, being part of this interview. ALS, no known cure. There are advancements that can allow it to be managed a little better than in years past, but that is the hard part here. It's that it only is going to take him over more and more over time. The brain can no longer communicate with voluntary muscle, leading to weakness and twitching, paralysis at some point. Johnson is married with 4 children. Very sad story.
Coming up, more than 1,400 people are dead after the devastating earthquakes in Venezuela. Up next, a Milwaukee chef with family still there shares what he's hearing firsthand. It's 2:13.
Picture this, a perfect summer evening, great friends, and dinner on the patio overlooking a beautiful course. That's Racine Country Club. More than golf, it's a place to relax, gather, and belong. A new energy is here, and you're invited to experience it. From great food to unforgettable events, it's a lifestyle built around community. Whether it's a quick 9 after work, dinner with friends, or a weekend with family, Racine Country Club offers something for everyone, year-round. Discover what's new at Racine Country Club. Visit racinecountryclub.com.
For 70 years, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in the state of Wisconsin. Greg Matzik here. If you got a busted garage door, hey, don't sweat it. You got brands like CHI and LiftMaster in stock, ready to go at Geis, available for you. Just an incredible inventory. And experts at Geis, they've been doing this for 70 years. They get it. They even have a custom design center. Whatever it is to meet your exact needs, you can handle it at Geis. Swift and reliable garage repair solutions. The best brands, great inventory. Visit GeisDoors.com. Stop by the showroom in Brookfield. It's right off Barker Road. You'll see what I'm talking about. Don't think twice. Call Geis and visit GeisDoors.com.
Milwaukee Weight Loss knows the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day with no drugs or surgery, and they'll show you how to keep the weight off for good. Get your confidence and your health back. Right now, $200 off their summer special for a limited time only. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com now to book your free consultation.
Get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at ACCUNET.com.
The leader in the dugout, the skipper, the man who riles up the crew with his words of inspiration.
You mean my old ass? Is that what you're saying?
Yep, that's our guy. Brewers manager Pat Murphy joins Wisconsin's Morning News every Tuesday at 8:45 for Brewers 360.
Hey, Spro, you're on the team. Deal with it.
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited, Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Cannon and Dumphy, and Ridgetop Exteriors.
Excessive heat warning in effect until 7 o'clock Wednesday night. They've extended this here. About an hour ago, they extended it past Tuesday night into Wednesday night, 7 o'clock. Very similar conditions today, tomorrow, and on Wednesday. Temperatures in the low to mid-90s with heat indexes reaching 100 degrees or so. Chance of rain on Thursday. It could have some storms popping up Thursday, Friday, and Saturday here. Not sure if those will end up being all-day washouts. At the point, it doesn't appear if it'll be that way, but it could impact your 4th of July holiday plans. It's 87, feels like 98 in Milwaukee at 2:16.
The images coming out of Venezuela are just heartbreaking. More than 1,400 people are now confirmed dead after last week's powerful earthquakes. Right now, rescue crews are searching through collapsed buildings, digging in rubble, looking for survivors. It is tragic to see, but for some people here in Wisconsin, it is deeply personal. Chef Gregory Leone of Amalinda in downtown Milwaukee grew up in Venezuela, and a lot of his family still lives there. Chef joins us live in the studio. Welcome back.
Thank you for inviting me.
First, how is your family doing, and what are you hearing from them? I know various family members live in different parts, but what have you seen?
Thank God my father, my aunts and uncles, and a lot of my cousins are okay. My father lives far enough away from the epicenter where they felt it, but there was no damage in the city. He did say that he's never run down 10 flights of stairs so fast in his life because they were in the apartment. It just happened around 6 in the evening. People were at home having dinner or getting ready to have dinner. The rest of my family lives in Caracas, the capital, which was hit pretty hard, even though it's far away from the epicenter. So these were two very strong earthquakes.
So what are they telling you about what they're seeing, the damage there?
I mean, there's buildings pancaked. In the capital, water has been shut off, gas has been shut off, so they're only able to cook with electric induction burners, even if that, because sometimes the electricity goes off. The country, we have to remember, this country has been under dictatorship for about 30 years. So the infrastructure is not there. I mean, this would be a horrible thing to happen to any country. But think about a country that has no infrastructure because the government has not done what they need to do for their people. So it's quadrupled what's happened there. Like, these poor people are desperate for help.
How soon after you realized there were earthquakes in the country you were born and raised in, were you able to make contact with your family?
Immediately, thank God. Like, I was able to reach my dad within seconds of hearing the news. It took me a little bit longer to get a hold of some of my family in the capital. But my dad, who was the one I was really worried about, he's 84, but he's fine. Thank you.
So are there particular shortages right now that your family says are the biggest concerns? Food,
yes.
medicine?
Food and medicine are the big ones. Again, the country was already crippled. My understanding is that in normal times when you would go to the hospital to have a procedure, you had to bring your own syringes and gauze and all that stuff because the hospitals don't have it. So it's even worse now. So medical supplies are in demand and food. People need to eat. They need clean water. It's bad.
It strikes me as a population that will do its best to support each other. I know there's help from neighboring countries in Europe. Correct. And of course the United States, but this seems to be a very tight-knit community.
It's a very tight-knit community because they had no other choice. I've seen videos of the government actually impeding people, stopping them from going down the roads to try to get people out of these buildings that have collapsed. I've seen videos of actually. Finally, people are starting to stand up to the government. I saw a couple of videos last night where they were fighting with the National Guard and trying to get them out of the way so they could get in there. I've heard some stories from some friends. La Guaira, which is where the airport was, which is on the coast, was hit really bad. Like, a lot of buildings just collapsed. And for whatever reason, the government wouldn't let people drive down there. So finally, I saw yesterday where the population was just like, we've had it, and just kind of like had their way with them and pushed them out of the way and were able to get there. I also saw a video yesterday where some American rescue workers were fighting with the vice president because the vice president was telling them not to go help them. So I'm not sure why. I mean, I can imagine why they're wanting that, why they're doing that. But the people there are very resilient, and they're going to do whatever they have to do to help each other.
We have seen some remarkable rescues, including an infant being pulled, a baby basically being pulled out of this rubble days after the earthquakes. Is there still hope among the people you're talking to of finding survivors?
The people that I've spoken to, I have some friends from high school who still live there. There's still hope that they're able to find some people, but with every day that passes, that hope diminishes.
So, Greg, what do you think is the long-term outlook here? You mentioned kind of how the government doesn't do what they're supposed to do, and I think we've seen evidence of that. That is an eye-popping statement that you mentioned. If you go to the hospital, you got to bring your own stuff. Right. That is crazy for anybody to think about. Let that sink in for a second. Do you have confidence that these areas that were so hard hit, where it's just shambles, it's rubble, will it be repaired? What is the future? I think
it's going to take years, to be completely honest. This is not something that's going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen in months. It's going to take years. My hope is that this is going to be the catalyst that's really going to get the Venezuelan people to rise up and overthrow the government. And it's sad that it's taken a tragedy like this to make that happen. But from what I've seen, that's my hope, that at least out of this horrible situation, they're going to be able to rise up and change the regime and get somebody in there that's going to care about them.
More than 1,400 people now confirmed dead in Venezuela. We're talking with Chef Gregory Leone of Amalinda in downtown Milwaukee. He grew up in Venezuela. A lot of his family still lives there. Are members of the Venezuelan community here in Wisconsin coming together in different ways that we haven't heard about? We've heard about the brewers who are coming together and doing some things. I'm wondering if you're going to do anything over at the restaurant.
We are trying to figure out what we're going to do. You know, we want to raise some money, hopefully be able to send some medical equipment or medical supplies. I know I personally am going to start donating to World Central Kitchen because I know they're down in the ground. So if anybody is figuring out wants an idea how to help, donate to World Central Kitchen because they're already on the ground and they're feeding people. We're trying to figure out what's the best way to help them. You know, if we're going to send money, we want to make sure that it actually gets to the people who need it and it doesn't go into the pocket of the corrupt government.
Have you seen the brewers and what they're doing here? They got this own supply drive, and they've called for blankets and non-perishable
that's great.
food
No,
items.
I hadn't heard that. So that's
this
fantastic.
Is led by Jackson Churio and William Contreras, right? They played for Team Venezuela in the World Baseball Classic, and this has been heavy on their hearts and minds. So there's a week-long donation effort set up in Milwaukee to try and get materials and supplies to Venezuela.
That's fantastic. There's a lot of Venezuelans here in Milwaukee. Actually, the lady who was my Uber driver on the way here was telling me that her family's okay, but she's trying to figure out what to do because the problem is we can raise money, but then who do we send it to? We want to make sure that it goes to the right people, that it doesn't go to the government.
As someone who has built a life and career here in Milwaukee, how does it feel to watch your homeland go through this while you're so far away?
It's pretty stressful. It's very sad. I wish there was more I could do. There for a quick second, I thought about jumping on a plane and joining World Central Kitchen out there. But my staff talked me out of that and said, you can do more here. So it's Venezuelans are such nice people. They're so resilient, so friendly. And to see them go through this after 30 years of a dictatorship, it's heartbreaking.
You know, you had the massive events and then the number of aftershocks and tremors, they were counted in the hundreds. So,
And we need to remember, it is a small country.
Yes.
So it's not like, we have an earthquake in California. We don't feel it here in Wisconsin. This was felt all over the country.
Is there anything that we haven't seen here on television? I mean, the videos.
Yeah.
Now where some of these new videos are coming back where you see like cracks just start in the buildings. You see people running. So in this day and age, there are so many cameras around. We see a lot, but I'm just wondering if there's something that you have heard from your friends and family over there that we don't know about.
They've sent me videos of, the buildings literally just follow it. And it's just it's just breath. I mean, I don't even know what the word is, just to see these giant skylights just fall over like they're made out of cardboard. There's a video I saw last night of a man crying. You can see his wife's leg out of the rubble, and he's just pleading with the government, please help me get this. So I've never seen anything like this in my life, unfortunately.
I am interested in the geography. You mentioned that where your dad lives is not quite connected to the epicenter. Correct, it's a little bit of ways, but does he know the impact and the shock? I mean, talk about a 7.3, 7.5 magnitude. What was the magnitude where he was?
I don't know what the exact number was, but he said it was like they felt it enough that they freaked out and ran down the stairs. So like he says, the building was shaking. He could see the building shaking. He didn't know exactly what the magnitude was, but it was felt all over the country. Again, it's a small little country, so everybody felt it.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for coming in and sharing your story with us. As long as we have you here real quickly with Summerfest going on, I'm curious, since you are right there, just blocks away from it, what do you see during the Summerfest weekends? Do you see, is it a little bit slower, or do you find that you have your regulars coming because they know maybe they're in as many
It's a little bit slower because nobody wants to deal with the traffic downtown. But then we do get a few people who are here for Summerfest. So, but this is our slow time right now.
I imagine a lot of people are asking you about this in the restaurant as well, just knowing your roots, because I know you do have a lot of regulars.
We've had a lot of people reach out, so I really appreciate everybody checking in to see how my dad's doing. They call him the mayor of Amalinda, so everybody wants to make sure he's okay.
I love that. That is Chef Gregory Leone of Amalinda in downtown Milwaukee. Thanks so much for being here and update us on anything that you have going on there that can help the people of Venezuela.
If anybody wants to donate, I would say start sending money to World Central Kitchen. That's the easiest thing you can do right now.
Wonderful. It is 2:26. Coming up next, local news and your top national headlines.
MW Marine.
Celebrate summer with the 4th of July boat sale at MW Marine. Check out the new 2026 Lund, Ranger, and Vexus boats powered by Mercury Outboards. All priced to move during this special holiday event. Ask about remaining closeout models with deep discounted pricing at MW Marine. They'll help keep your boat ready for the water with expert service and convenient outdoor storage. Make this your best summer yet at MW Marine, where 4th of July savings are making waves.
Wisconsin's hometown pizza is Palermo's, right? Trying to figure out what I got to do for dinner tonight. Well, make it easy, make it delicious, and make it local with Palermo's. Wisconsin's hometown pizza. Got a buy one, get one offer right now through the end of June. You can take advantage of this. Buy one, get one on Screamin' Sicilian. Either variety. They got the original, got the thin and crispy, both overflowing with toppings, both delicious, both available for you at Pick and Save and Metro Market stores through the 30th. With a buy one, get one offer. That's a great deal. That's a great pizza right there, made by Palermo's. Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
Buying a new roof might not be the most exciting thing you'll do this year, but for us at Big Fish Contracting, being chosen to do that roof for you not only provides income for multiple families in southeastern Wisconsin, but has a global reach and impact around the world. To us, it's more than just a roof. We've been earning trust for over 2 decades, roofing, siding, windows, and more. Go to bigfishcontracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
For more than a century, Curative Care has been helping children, adults, and families across southeast Wisconsin navigate developmental disabilities and find the support they need to thrive. Curative helps families every step of the way, from early childhood through adulthood, connecting parents with resources, providing guidance during challenging times, and creating a community where people truly belong. If you know someone who may be looking for answers and support for a loved one with developmental disabilities, visit curative.org today.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. It's time, isn't it, to update the look of your house, but you don't even know where to begin. First step, Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. Yes, Tri-County's been in the roof business for 47 years, but Chuck, Tony, and the crew also handle siding. They've got design consultants that can help you. No exterior contractor will do what Tri-County Contracting can do for you. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. It's siding that'll make you love your home again.
We demand a lot of our shoulders and hands, our hips and knees, our backs and feet. They do life's heavy lifting, so we owe them the greatest attention in return. The Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network provides expert orthopedic and spine care to help you move, lift, turn, and reach with the most possible ease. Whether you have a sports-related injury or a nagging condition that just won't go away, excellence should always be an option. So we make our care available in nearby locations and offer same-day ortho and spine appointments when relief can't wait. It's how to recover quicker, prevent small concerns from becoming big ones, and solve complex issues with the expertise you can only get with academic medicine. We're given just one body, so let's tend to it, check in on it. Let's give it the greatest of care, because when it's tuned up and injury-free, we can always be pushing ahead. To learn more about our nationally recognized orthopedic and spine care, visit freighter.com/ortho.
Coming up on 2:30, I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Monday, June 29th. Your top story, seeing an armed standoff from the police perspective.
I'm Jessica Ty. A Ripon man sentenced for attacking his ex-girlfriend with a hatchet.
Extreme heat warning in effect for all of southeast Wisconsin until 7 o'clock Wednesday night. Very muggy, very warm, very humid the next several days. Temperatures in the mid-90s with a heat index that could approach or exceed 100 degrees. Overnight low tonight, 76. That extreme heat warning in effect again until Wednesday at 7 p.m. Have a chance of rain, too, popping into the forecast on Wednesday night, mainly north and central Wisconsin.
ABC News, I'm Mike Dubusky. As relief efforts continue in Venezuela, officials there are now updating the death toll from last week's earthquakes to 1,719. Among them, at least 3 Americans, a U.S. official tells ABC. This morning, the Supreme Court issued a major ruling that allows the president to hire and fire officials at independent agencies like the FCC, greatly expanding presidential power.
They were designed to be independent, protected from presidential interference. But what Chief Justice John Roberts Roberts said today in this opinion is that the president does have the power under the Constitution to stick his fingers in there and design those agencies as he wants.
ABC's Devin Dwyer, and Speaker Mike Johnson has now sent that bipartisan housing bill to the president's desk, according to a source familiar. This kicks off the 10-day clock for Trump to sign or veto the bill. Otherwise, it becomes law without his signature. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 2:31. Milwaukee police releasing body camera footage from an armed standoff.
Hands! Show us your hands!
Officers responded on June 12th to calls of a man with a gun making threats near 84th and Lynx. On the video, 22-year-old Jalen Brown asked officers to, quote, shoot him before threatening officers and running into an apartment building. Police first tried negotiating with Brown, then shot him. He later died at the hospital.
The sentence is in. The man accused of attacking his ex-girlfriend with a hatchet will spend 90 years in prison.
35-year-old Hayden Daffinson of Ripon pled guilty to attempted first-degree intentional homicide, first-degree sexual assault, and mayhem. Prosecutors say Daffinson planned the attack after the victim ended their relationship. Court documents show that Daffinson hit the woman 25 times with a hatchet while attempting a sexual assault and then left her for dead. Daffinson was sentenced to 90 years in prison. The woman who was attacked survived. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
A driver accused of shooting at another vehicle after a hit-and-run crash in Wauwatosa pleads not guilty. Lakeisha Trigg, charged with a felony of first-degree recklessly endangering safety. Prosecutors say she hit another vehicle as she was merging on I-41, causing the other vehicle to drive into construction barrels. She then fired shots out of her window at the other vehicle before driving off. A trial date is not set. Trigg has a bail hearing scheduled for next month.
A teenager from Madison is dead after drowning in Lake Mills.
Caller advised that there's a person missing in the lake, was swimming and now gone. He was last seen swimming in the swim area, had a red shirt on. Caller advised that he's not a strong swimmer.
That's police scanner audio from Broadcastify. Emergency crews responded Sunday afternoon to Sandy Beach Park. The 14-year-old died right there at the scene. Police say the boy was not wearing a life jacket.
Along with the heat and humidity, there's an air quality alert in effect for all of the Lake Michigan shoreline counties until 11 p.m. later tonight. TMJ4 meteorologist Lauren Larson.
Spending not as much time outside if you do have to be outside for work. Obviously wearing light colored clothing, thinner fabrics, drinking plenty of water, more water than you think you need to drink, and really seeking time in the shade.
Larson says the next chances for any rain won't be until at least Wednesday. Your complete WTMJ 5-day forecast is coming up.
Also ahead, sports and traffic. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is coming up on 2:34.
You take pride in your Milwaukee area home. So why let it disappear when the sun goes down? At Blingle Premier Lighting, they create breathtaking landscape lighting that transforms your home into the showpiece of the neighborhood. Elegant uplighting, softly illuminated walkways, architectural lighting that highlights the beauty you've already invested in. Landscape lighting doesn't just make your home look incredible. It adds curb appeal, increases perceived value, improves safety, and creates an experience you enjoy every single night. In fact, it's the one thing homeowners never realize they want until they have it. And once they do, they can't imagine living without it. From luxury landscape lighting to permanent holiday lighting and patio lighting, Blingle designs custom systems built specifically for your home. No hassle, no stress, just a home that looks absolutely stunning after dark. See us at blingle.com/MKE. Blingle Premier Lighting. Your home will never look this beautiful. That's blingle.com/MKE.
Hey, it's Kristen Bry from Point Taken on 620 WTMJ. You know, in radio, people hear your voice first. But when I'm out in the community, meeting listeners or hosting events, I'm told that my smile is my signature. That's why I trust Dr. James Michaels and the team at Economawalk Dental Care with my smile. And yes, I drive all the way from Milwaukee to Economawalk to see Dr. Michaels and his incredible staff. Because when you find a dental team that makes you feel comfortable, listened to, and cared for, that drive is worth it. Dr. Michaels has been practicing in Economawalk for more than 25 years, and his approach is simple. Treat people the way they want to be treated. Whether you're due for a cleaning, thinking about cosmetic options, or just need a dental home where you feel at ease, call Economawalk Dental Care at 262-567-7224. That's 262-567-7224, or visit drmichaelsdentalcare.com. Economawalk Dental Care with Dr. James Michaels, the team I trust with my smile.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brewers not so great with runners in scoring position in that 3-game series against the Cubs, dropping 2 of 3. Christian Yelich trying to make sense of it all.
You go through stretches like that during the season, right? Like, you're going to have times where things just aren't going well for you. You're not doing a good job with runners in scoring position. You're not doing a good job with guys on third, less than 2 outs. Like, unfortunately, like, you're going to have some rough spots like that, and you just got to get through them as a team, and we'll be all right.
Brewers hit the halfway point of the regular season as one of just 2 teams in all of baseball with 50 or more wins. Coverage of tonight's game against the Reds begins at 6:05. The United States will face Bosnia on Wednesday at 7 o'clock in the round of 32 in the World Cup, and it's day 1 of Wimbledon at the All England Club. Serena Williams, a 44-year-old, making a comeback, taking part in the singles and doubles competition.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We do have a crash that is causing quite the backup here. It's in one of our construction zones as well, so that's just making things worse. It's on the ramp from Silver Spring Drive to 4145 South. Once again, heads up if you're traveling in that way, avoid the area. A crash on the ramp from Silver Spring Drive to 4145 South. I'm just pulling up the cameras here to take a peek. It does not look like emergency responders are at the scene yet. I don't see any vehicles with flashing lights. There is one car in front of this truck, but hard to see it. Does not look like an emergency responder to me, though. Looks like there are at least 2 cars involved here. A couple people out of the vehicles right now, which is always a dangerous situation. I do see traffic is just crawling along right now, so this is going to make delays worse. We also have, not too far from that, we have a disabled vehicle as well. 4145 North, very close to the ramp from North Avenue. 2 right lanes are closed due to a car that's broken down. So it is a mess on 4145 North in our construction zone, both in the Butler area as well as the Mayfair Mall area.
Excessive heat advisory is in effect. In fact, it's called an excessive heat warning. Sounds a little more severe. Maybe it is. It's in effect for all of southeastern Wisconsin until 7 o'clock Wednesday night. Overnight low 77 tonight. You're not going to feel much relief. Sunny, hot, and humid on Tuesday, 97 the high, heat index up to 105. It's 88, sunny, muggy, feels like 96 in Milwaukee at 238.
When the Milwaukee Rep announced it was producing a musical about the Bucks' 2021 championship season, no one knew whether Giannis Antetokounmpo would still be wearing a Bucks uniform when it opened. Now we know he won't be, but as they say, the show must go on. It's called MKE MVP. The man who created the show, writer and composer Matt Zembrowski, joins us live in the studio. He popped over in the midst of the musical rehearsals to join us, so thanks for being here.
Absolutely, thank you.
So full disclosure, I am a season ticket holder at the Rep, and when I was checking out the shows for next season, I got very excited about this show. It's right up my alley, being a lifelong Bucks fan. And I wondered, my first thought when I saw MKE MVP, because when you're promoting it too, it's a picture of number 34 shooting a basket. I thought, who's going to play Giannis? Who's going to play Giannis? But then I read about it, and the play is really about the fans. You don't need Giannis, so to speak. So what is at the heart of MKE MVP?
Well, you kind of said it. It's about fans. It's about Milwaukee sports fans. It's about Bucks fans. It's about the people that really kind of make all of these franchises tick. Like, there's no reason that the Brewers should sell as many tickets as they do. There's no reason that a city the size of Milwaukee should have 2 major league franchises like the Bucks and the Brewers, and yet we're there every game and selling out a lot of them. And it's really it's a celebration of those folks that kind of make those franchises go.
Is it? How would you describe it? Right? Is it kind of funny? Is it more lighthearted? Is it kind of through the quirks of the fans and their perspective of that magical run and jamming up the Deer District? How would you describe it?
Well, it's definitely lighthearted. I mean, there are plenty of people in this show that you will recognize. These are kind of your friends and neighbors. I try not to poke fun at people from Milwaukee because I am from Milwaukee and I will always have a soft spot for the city and the people that live here. But we all have our quirks, don't we? We've all got our little things that kind of make us unique. The way that we say pick and save, the way that we say Milwaukee, those things are all there. But they're real people. You know, these are real people, including one person who is actually based on a real person. It's based on a UWM professor named Jane Gallup, who is a real person in the city, is one of the characters in this show.
So I don't know how the show ends, and I don't want you to spoil anything, but I'm just curious if now you have to make some tweaks since Giannis is no longer with the Bucks. Are you doing a little editing, or is everything safe as is?
It's kind of little tweaks at this point, although we don't know what the general attitude is going to be when we finally see him in a Miami Heat jersey. So right now, because the show really it tracks his journey from 2013 when he was drafted to the championship win. So that's history. You know, nothing's going to change that. People still have really great feelings and really great memories about what all those guys did for the city. And so that part is history. That won't change. So right now, I mean, it's very raw for all of us that knew and loved him as a player in the city. But come January, it may turn into a little bit more of a rivalry thing. And so everything kind of is filtered through how we view him at the time. So there will be some changes probably made up to the moment, but for the most part, the core of it will just still be there.
I was going to ask if you tried to include something or feel the need to include something about the chapter closed on Giannis in Milwaukee, if that's part of the consideration, or if it kind of beyond that point right now with where you are in the process.
I think we would do every Bucks fan a disservice if we didn't at least acknowledge it, because it's a huge elephant in the room, and we're all there for a communal experience to share something, and we all have feelings about it. So yes, I mean, we will definitely be acknowledging what everybody may be feeling at that time about what he meant to the team.
We're talking with Matt Zembrowski, local playwright. He is the writer and composer of the new musical coming up next season at the Rep, MKE MVP. You are a local guy. You went to Dominican High School in Whitefish Bay. You studied theater at UWM. You've been with the Milwaukee Rep for, I think, 25 years now?
It only feels like it since I've been writing this. This is actually, believe it or not, this is only the second show that I've had produced for them. I did a show called Dad Season Tickets a couple years ago, which was the first show that they did coming out of COVID. And it was I'm really grateful to say a big seller for them. And I think that was probably in Mark Clements, the artistic director's mind, when he approached me with this idea.
Well, I was curious, how does an idea like this work? Because this is hyper local. I think this is so smart. It's like when the Rep did Run Bambi Run.
Yeah.
I mean, it was ripped from our local headlines.
Yeah.
It was a great show. I think this is great because you bring in more local people that maybe don't go to plays, and you get a different crowd that comes in as well, and everybody gets to experience this. But how does this show come to be?
Well, we're living in a great time if you're a writer, if you're a theater maker, because it used to be that shows that were produced in New York kind of set the tone for what everybody else did in the country. But now, because of the internet, because of communication being so close as it is, regional shows like MKE MVP, like Dad Season Tickets, are suddenly having a big life because people are willing to trust stories that they know are about them. So I think Mark Clements had that in mind. We just happened to run into each other at a performance at a completely different company, and we were just chatting. And he said, "Matt, I have this idea. I've been wanting to do something about Giannis." And about his impact on the city. And I want it to be from the perspective of the fans. And I found out later as I was writing that there was a very good reason for that. And mostly it's because Giannis's story has already pretty much been told by Disney at this point. And so I think it was really smart on his part to encourage it to be from the fans, because that's the people that are going to go see the show.
Well, you hit on such a great point here, because we've seen recent and outstanding success with the Brewers 1982 documentary, the Uke documentary. That's part of the fabric of people's lives, right? And the Bucks ending a 50-year championship drought, you know where you were, and you were likely in the Deer District, right? If you weren't watching somewhere at your home, maybe peppered around the state of Wisconsin or the country. But the fan perspective is so much a part of that story, because it was this ride through some dark years, and oh my gosh, like, who are these guys now? Like, it was just sort of laughable, and you're hoping for the next great thing, not knowing when it would come. And then it came, and the fans supported it every step of the way. And another humble superstar kind of allowed for all this to happen. So it is such a great intertwining sort of story like that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's I said this to somebody else, that even if Giannis had turned out to be just kind of an average player, his story would still be legendary, just because, especially people in the Midwest, we really root for the underdog. We root for people that find a way to succeed despite all of the odds. And so that was in the forefront of my mind when I was working on this. And the other thing that kind of almost surprised me, because I think we're starting to block it out a little bit, is the Bucks championship happened coming out of COVID. Like, that season started, there was still limited number of fans that were allowed in the stadium. So the fact that people were just itching to get out of their houses and do anything just, I think, made that for all of us in Milwaukee even more special, because it was a community bonding experience after this really divisive thing that happened.
It so was. I mentioned all your local ties. What does it mean to you to be able to compose a brand new show like this that has a local story?
It's an honor. I mean, it really is. I've written now 4 shows for Northern Sky Theater in Door County. One of my shows is running this summer, Something in the Water, up at Northern Sky. And so I knew that was going to be my way in. I didn't think that there was any way that a little kid from the south side of Milwaukee was ever going to get a show produced on Broadway. So I started looking for local stories because when I first started going to theater, it was at Northern Sky, and they told stories about us. I thought that was really great, and so it's an honor to continue that tradition.
2 hours, 15 minutes long, I see, with maybe a couple of tweaks here before it actually starts airing. January 16th to February 28th, the run. The initial run, does it have a potential for a repeat run, or how does that work on the scheduling aspect?
It's always the hope. It's always the hope that it'll come back. It really is going to depend on how many butts we get in the seat, and I think they would be very happy to bring it back again. We want to tell stories, and that's really what it's all about. And if bringing back a story that's really popular means that it's going to make everybody happy and maybe make a few bucks, then pun intended, then we're absolutely going to look at that.
You talk about bringing it back, but I'm wondering, the rep is touting the show as the world premiere. Are there plans to make MKE MVP maybe take it on the road and go elsewhere? Because Giannis he's not just beloved here in Wisconsin. I mean, he is beloved across the country and really around the world.
Sure. Well, I mean, that's always the hope. When you write something, you hope that there's more than one production. You hope that more than just one group of people is going to be able to see it. So if some off-Broadway producers come and say, hey, Giannis is really hot right now, we want to do this in New York, I'm not going to say no. I just want to get the story out there because his story is worth telling, and our story as Milwaukeeans is absolutely worth telling to the world.
Well, I will be there for sure. I can't wait to see it. It's in the Stackner Cabaret, which is a really nice spot, too. You've got all the different theaters at the Milwaukee Rep, but that one is a little bit more intimate. You're right up there close. There's not a bad seat in the house.
And you can buy drinks.
Yes.
There.
Yes, you can buy drinks right there, too, and you can eat dinner there as well. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Matt Zembrowski, writer and composer of the new musical at the Milwaukee Rep, coming up starting January 16th, MKE MVP. We appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much.
It's 2:47.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Griffin Ford in Waukesha. Hey, if you've been thinking about a new vehicle, now's the time to take a serious look at Griffin Ford's Ford American Value for American Values employee pricing event. This is great. For a limited time, you pay what employees pay. That's right, employee pricing on a huge selection of new Ford vehicles. Right now, they have 50-plus all-wheel drive Ford Explorers in stock starting at $38,978. How about the 2026 Ford Bronco Sport all-wheel drive? More than 20 in stock starting at $28,995. And Escape owners get an additional $1,000 off. But what really sets Griffin Ford apart is inventory. Griffin Ford is one of the largest selections of new Ford vehicles anywhere in Wisconsin. That means you're not spending hours searching dealer to dealer or settling for something close to what you wanted. You can choose the color, trim, level, and features that fit your style. It's Griffin Ford in Waukesha. I buy my cars at Griffin. You can also do it online at griffinford.com.
Siding Unlimited is truly siding and a whole lot more. Looking forward to seeing my friends Eric and Aaron Brown tomorrow at our WTMJ Classic Golf outing. Every time I see them, I thank them because they put an incredible work into siding our house when we built it about 10 years ago now. LP Smart Side Siding. It's a fantastic product, but if it's not installed properly, you got issues. And you may have noticed that. You got the great products. What's going on here? Why are things failing? It might be your installation team didn't really know what they were doing. Maybe they tried to cut corners. That is not the case with Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more. Think of anything you could do to your home to protect and beautify its exterior, and then think about how Siding Unlimited can do that for you, like they've done for me and so many others here in the state of Wisconsin. Check out their showroom in Brookfield, near Gerke's Corners, just off Barker Road. It's 665 Larry Court. That's where you'll find Siding Unlimited. You'll see these products on display. You'll get an idea for how it could look if installed at your place. Visit sidingunlimited.com.
Enjoy life at Capri Communities, where senior living's our expertise. Caring staff that help you when you need. Enjoy life at Capri, making friends and memories. Living life to the fullest, you will love your new home. Enjoy life at Capri Communities.
No matter what business you're in, as the #1 SBA lender in Wisconsin, Summit Credit Union helps your vision take shape with loan programs, great rates, and strategic solutions.
Awarded the #1 SBA lender by the Small Business Administration of Wisconsin in 2025.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, CertaPro Painters. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
TMJ4, I'm meteorologist Lauren Larson with your 5-day Storm Team forecast. Today is hot and humid with highs reaching the mid-90s and an extreme heat warning in place for all of our counties. That goes until 7 p.m. on Tuesday, which means, again, mid-90s, but feeling like 100 degrees throughout the day on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we have a slight chance for some rain showers as the heat and humidity sticks around. Again, highs in the mid-90s, and then more likely to see some rain and maybe a rumble of thunder on Thursday. But the heat and humidity is here to stay throughout the rest of the week. Your latest weather updates are always available at tmj4.com. I'm meteorologist Lauren Larson.
It's 87 degrees, feels like 97 right now in Milwaukee. The overnight low is 76. So we're in it here this week. We'll get through it. It's 2:52.
It's wild how quickly everything changes, too, here in Wisconsin with the weather, because just over the weekend, I was debating, okay, what am I going to wear to Summerfest at night? Because it was very comfortable. And you're down by the lake at night and can get a little cool. Sure. I was very comfortable in jeans and I didn't have a long sleeve shirt on. It was like three quarters length. Very, very comfortable. And now you're like, you need short shorts, I guess, and that tank top.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those weeks where cooler by the lake doesn't really exist. So whatever you're feeling out in the burbs, if that's where you live, you're likely feeling it downtown. Not going to get much of a lake cooling effect. But I'm with you. I was in a pickleball event on Thursday at the Summerfest grounds, and I had a very light hoodie on underneath a T-shirt. So, and I was very comfortable playing in that. Yeah, we saw the temperatures kind of ratchet up a little bit. Yesterday felt a little stickier than the prior and the day prior to that. But now we're in this wave, and I really hope you don't get this round of severe weather. I see thunderstorms in the forecast potentially Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and it's a big week for a lot of people. A lot of people on the road, yes, but a lot of people also going up to the cabin or on the lake or something around here.
Without a doubt. And the other thing I love about Summerfest, too, I mean, the music is one thing, the food, one thing, the lake, the people watching, but also some of the stories that can come out on the outskirts of it. Post Malone, as an example, who played the AmFam Amphitheater Saturday night. He also ate at Calderon Club in downtown Milwaukee this weekend. And I just love that. I think it's so fun. I think it's fun for the people who are eating there as well. It's fun for the chefs and the owners. They get to take pictures. And I just love to see how these people, these artists, these stars are experiencing our city. Not everybody has the time to do it. I mean, sometimes they just come in, they roll that tour bus in, and then they roll that tour bus out. But every once in a while, depending on the tour schedule, they have a little time to enjoy themselves. And Post Malone, he didn't have my favorite over there. I like the spicy penne. Oh, at Calderon Club, so good. I can't remember what he had. I want to feel like maybe like a chicken something. Then he got his hair cut, too.
Yeah, I did see that.
That's just fun. And Russell Dickerson, who a lot of people, his show Saturday night at the BMO Pavilion, that was packed. A lot of people just loving that one. His wife is from Wisconsin, and then he's out at the Brewers game throwing out the first pitch the next day.
That is cool, because you're right. I think Garth Brooks is another good reminder. We had a couple of shows here kicking off Summerfest and grabbing dinner at the Harbor House and just spending time in Milwaukee. I think you love to see that, and I can only imagine how welcoming people are here when they see those individuals out. I just feel like Milwaukee's a welcoming community that way. People don't want to bug you too much, but they're proud that you're doing something in their town. I think that's always a cool thing.
And we're not done with Summerfest yet. Coming up Thursday, it is the final weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Just like that, and then we're about a month away from the state fair beginning, believe it or not. Yeah, crazy. It is 2:55 on WTMJ. If you missed any bit of our show, check out our podcast page. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. It's built by Siding Unlimited. You can also find us on YouTube. Full shows, clips, you name it. Hop into the studio, see what's going on inside of our studios. You can comment and everything. Check out WTMJ's YouTube page and search for Wisconsin's Midday News. We've got Wisconsin's afternoon news coming up in about 4 minutes here on WTMJ.
The new fractured boulders we now have in stock are really nice. They're squarer and more rectangular in shape, and they're great for building dry-laid retaining walls.